Chapter 1181 If I Could Master the Laws of Time. Zhu Qiwu's chatterbox was indeed opened. He began to talk endlessly, saying almost everything he knew. He even added his own understanding. At this moment, he seemed to regard Lin Moyu as one of his own. But Lin Moyu knew very well that it would be a big mistake to think that Zhu Qiwu would tell him everything. Zhu Qiwu was not the kind of person who spoke without thinking. On the contrary, he was very clear about what should be said and what should not be said. What he said was actually content that everyone knew. If Lin Moyu were a little stronger, had a little higher authority, and was willing to spend some time, he could learn this information. Zhu Qiwu was just telling Lin Moyu in advance, there was nothing to it. However, what he said also made Lin Moyu realize the essence of the battlefield. The battlefield was actually formed around special areas. After the chaotic laws became stable, some special areas appeared here. 177. These areas would continuously produce various materials. The various races all needed these materials, so after countless years of fighting, the current situation was formed. As for chaotic places like the manor that would occasionally appear, Zhu Qiwu really didn't know much. Too much was involved, and the level was too high. Zhu Qiwu told Lin Moyu that even if he knew, it wouldn't be of any use. Lin Moyu didn't want to delve into information that even Zhu Qiwu's status and strength couldn't obtain. With insufficient strength, participating in this kind of thing was no different from courting death. Zhu Qiwu patted Lin Moyu on the shoulder. You have done a great service this time, you should get a lot of rewards. Lin Moyu asked, what rewards? Zhu Qiwu shook his head. How would I know? You'll know when you go back and see for yourself. Anyway, that person has spoken, your rewards won't be small. That person, in Zhu Qiwu's mouth referred to the middle-aged man in the black hole just now. That person was unfathomable and was a true high-level member of the human race. His one sentence was more effective than 10 or 100 sentences from Zhu Qiwu. But at the same time, Lin Moyu also felt strange. Why did that person choose a place like a black hole to talk to him? Black holes were not good places, and even godly sovereigns with a little less strength might die inside. Zhu Qiwu once again activated the teleportation array disk, taking Lin Moyu back. In the dark starry sky, a manor shrouded in green, looking lush and verdant, hung there in a bizarre manner. The manor looked vibrant, but only those who had been inside knew that it was full of killing intent. The human race military had already issued an order, forbidding anyone from entering. But people from other races were still entering. They had not obtained enough information and could not make accurate judgments. Most of the people who entered died inside, becoming cannon fodder. Li Yuanbai had a smile on his face. The more people from the enemy race died, the happier he was. Wang Xing said beside him, if it weren't for little friend Lin, we don't know how many more people would have died. Li Yuanbai chuckled, yes, thanks to little friend Lin for saving so many people. In the 10 days or so since the manor appeared, more than 1,600 people have already died. Moreover, people are still rushing there, one after another. The Human Emperor Network estimates that the manor's appearance should last for about 300 days. In 300 days, many people will enter, and even more will die. Li Yuanbai looked at the manor. Speaking of which, do you think little friend Lin might be hiding something? Wang Xing glared at Li Yuanbai. Old Li, what nonsense are you talking about? Lin Moyu saved his life, and although he and Li Yuanbai are good friends, he won't allow him to casually talk about his savior. Li Yuanbai chuckled. I was just saying it casually. Even if he is hiding something, it's normal. Who doesn't have secrets? Wang Xing stopped talking. He didn't deny what Li Yuanbai said. It did make some sense. But he didn't like hearing it. In the dark starry sky millions of kilometers away from the manor, a hazy figure stood there. His existence absorbed all the light, and the distant starry sky became dim. Any light passing by him would be absorbed and disappear. Not just light, but all laws and energy fluctuations were the same. No one could detect his existence. Even if a god lord passed by him, they wouldn't notice. If Lin Moyu were here, through the perspective of the undead, he might be able to see him and recognize him as the middle-aged man who had contacted him in the black hole. The middle-aged man's eyes looked at the manor. In his vision, the manor was a different sight. He saw through the phenomenon to the essence, seeing the aura of death lingering in the manor. At this time, the aura of death had become unstable and was fluctuating violently. Looking at it, it was like unpredictable wind and clouds, and a storm might come in the next second. As expected, it's becoming unstable. It seems this chaos will end in a few days. Is it because the time stone was taken away? What exactly happened in ancient times? What is the root cause of the human race's fragmentation? Even with so much information, I still can't deduce what happened back then. The law of time, if I could control the law of time, perhaps I would know. The middle-aged man's words were filled with countless questions, and finally his figure gradually disappeared. Lin Moyu was sent back to Fortress No. 1 by Zhu Qiwu. As soon as he returned to Fortress No. 1, he immediately received information from the Human Emperor Network. Reward for saving compatriots, 500 military merits. Reward for providing effective information and avoiding a large number of human casualties, 1,000 military merits, 1 contribution point. Reward for providing top-secret information and contributing to the human race, 2,000 military merits, 1 contribution point. With 3 rewards popping up in a row, a look of joy couldn't help but appear on Lin Moyu's face. A total of 3,500 military merits were obtained, which was no small sum. In the last mission, he killed so many enemies, but only obtained 2,300 military merits. Now, a single trip to the manor earned him 3,000 military merits. The key was also 2 contribution points, although he didn't know what the use of contribution points was yet. They must be very useful, and even more useful than military merits. Points were in the hundreds of thousands or millions, military merits were in the hundreds or thousands, but contribution points were 1 point, 2 points. Rarity makes things valuable. It was not difficult to imagine how great the effect of contribution points was. After obtaining military merits and contribution points, Lin Moyu checked his information in the Human Emperor Network. Lin Moyu, Glory 8th Order Warrior. Age, 32. Level, True God 5th Order. Soul, 4th Grade Peak. Potential Evaluation, Legendary. Highest Authority, 4th Level. Overall Strength, God King 4th Order. Available Points, 3,775,133,850. Available Military Merits, 8,010. Contribution Points, 3. Mastered Laws, Undead Law, Slaughter Law, Lightning Law. The Human Emperor Network has positioned my overall strength at God King 4th Order. It seems it's based on my killing of prisoner Lion a few days ago. At that time, Lin Moyu was only True God 4th Order, and he didn't show all his strength. Now he was already True God 5th Order, and his strength had improved again. According to his estimation, the Skeleton King was definitely no weaker than God King 5th Order. If he went all out, he estimated that he could kill a God King 5th Order with his sword. God King 4th Order Combat Power should be able to get on the combat power list. A slight smile appeared on the corner of his mouth, and Lin Moyu opened the Vermilion Bird Starfield list. Chapter 1182. Handing over toys, over completing the mission. Potential list: Vermilion Bird Starfield. Combat Power list: Vermilion Bird Starfield. Contribution list: Vermilion Bird Starfield. Bounty list: Vermilion Bird Starfield. The 4 major lists were displayed side by side. Lin Moyu saw his name, hanging high at the top of the potential list. There was no surprise in this. Lin Moyu had confidence in his potential. Now he had some understanding of the great world, and there were few people in history who could be rated as legendary potential. In his era, there was no one in the Vermilion Bird Starfield who could compete with him. His eyes skipped the potential list and saw the combat power list ranking. Before this, his name was not on the combat power list. Even if he killed so many True God Peak, or even God King Realm enemies in Area 5 to 38, he still wouldn't be on the combat power list. The Human Emperor Network was not there, and combat power could not be evaluated. But after he killed prisoner Lion with his sword in Fortress No. 1 last time, Lin Moyu knew he should be on the list. He also said at the time that he could find his name on the combat power list. Now he really found his name on the combat power list. Vermilion Bird Starfield Combat Power List, 35th. Lin Moyu said softly. He saw that he was ranked 35th. This ranking was not surprising, it could be said to be reasonable. The combat power list was a ranking of all those below God Lord in the Vermilion Bird Starfield, and cultivators with insufficient 5th level authority. It was very slow to upgrade authority from the 4th level to the 5th level, a full 1 million points, requiring the execution of a large number of tasks and spending a lot of time. The rewards for each task were not very high, Simple tasks rewarded only a few thousand, difficult tasks rewarded more, but they took a long time to complete. Some people even spent hundreds or thousands of years without being able to complete the upgrade. In this process, their strength had been improving. A few people had reached God King 4th Order, or even 5th Order, when they were promoted to 5th level authority. God King 5th Order, even if they couldn't fight beyond their level, they also possessed God King 5th Order combat power. Of course, actual combat was another matter. This also included some people who had the ability to fight beyond their level, who might be only God King 3rd Order, but had God King 5th Order combat power. The combat power list evaluated only combat power, not cultivation level. It was rare to see someone like Lin Mo Yu, who could enter the list at True God 5th Order. Lin Mo Yu was already satisfied. He casually checked the number 1 ranked cultivator on the combat power list. The name was Fire Phoenix Huo Huang, and the true combat power was not displayed. Lin Mo estimated that it should be around the 6th to 7th rank of God King. Lin Mo estimated that when he reached the 7th or 8th rank of True God, he would be able to reach the top of the combat power list. In addition to the Human Emperor Network evaluating combat power for ranking, there is actually a simpler way to impact the combat power list. That is to challenge the people on the list. As long as you win against someone on the list, you can replace their position. Of course, the other party also has the right to refuse the challenge. It's not like you can challenge anyone you want. Lin Mo's attention shifted from the combat power list to the contribution list. Oh, 3rd place, Lin Mo said with a slight surprise. Only 3 contribution points were enough to rank in the top 3, but considering the difficulty of obtaining contribution points, Lin Mo was not surprised. The difficulty of obtaining contributions is much higher than that of points and military merits. You must make a great contribution to the human race. This time, he received 1 contribution point for preventing a large number of losses to the human race. He also provided top-secret information, which was also considered a great contribution to the human race, and he received another 1 contribution point. Lin Mo guessed that this top-secret information should be the animal skin. In fact, the information recorded on the several pieces of animal skin he handed over was not very useful. But not very useful to him, maybe it will be useful to the human race's higher-ups. After all, a lot of information needs to be viewed in conjunction with each other. Lin Mo still remembered Zhuang Bai's words about being first in the 3 lists. Being first in the 3 lists can reap a lot of faith power. With the 9-colored dragon soul crystal on him, he doesn't need to worry about the impurities in the faith power, so the more faith power, the better. After reading the list, Lin Mo thought about what to do next and got up to go to the mission center. On the way, he sent a message to Emperor Qian Huang, and learned that Emperor Qian had already returned. Emperor Qian knew that Zhu Qiwu had taken Lin Mo away, so he was not worried about Lin Mo's safety at all and left with peace of mind. Originally, Lin Mo wanted to talk to him about the classification of human emperor missions, but now there is no need to talk about it. However, Lin Mo also knew that the information he left in the Human Emperor Network and the missions arranged for him by the Human Emperor Network were all combat power-oriented missions. This happened to meet his needs and was also the most suitable type of mission for him. Entering the mission center, many people were handing over missions. Watching the light of the Human Emperor Network constantly falling, some people expressed surprise after completing the mission. Some people also lamented because their rewards were deducted for failing to meet the mission standards. Lin Mo lined up and moved forward slowly. Half an hour later, it was finally his turn. What mission do you want to hand in? The staff at the counter were very polite. Lin Mo handed over the battlefield token and said calmly, "Special mission, exploring the mysterious manor." The staff took the token, immediately connected to the Human Emperor Network, and began to operate and verify. More than 10 seconds later, the staff once again said to Lin Mo, "Please provide proof of completion of the mission." The mission requirement was to survive in the manor for more than 3 days, or bring back a piece of useful information, or a mission item from the manor. He had not stayed for 3 full days, and he seemed to have said all his information. Some information could not be said here. Lin Mo asked, "What do other people use as proof when handing in missions?" He was definitely not the first to hand in this mission. And the only place to hand in missions in the battlefield was here, so Lin Mo guessed that the other party must know. This was not a secret, and the staff did not hide it. Basically, it's a piece of crystal. Lin Mo understood. Since the crystal could be used to complete the mission, then the toy should also be possible. He took out a toy, which was a mirror the size of a baby's fist. It wasn't very useful, it just showed some strange and bizarre pictures on it. Lin Mo guessed that it was probably used to scare people in the game. The staff took the mirror, knowing that it was a toy, and looked strange. Are you sure you want to use this to hand in the mission? Lin Mo nodded, I'm sure. The staff did not refuse. His job was to verify the mission, not to doubt the mission. Since Lin Mo requested it, he would do so. Other people's crystals all carried a mysterious aura, and even detection techniques could not identify what they were. They looked unusual at first glance. How could Lin Mo come to hand in a mission with a toy? A few minutes later, in the staff's strange expression, the mission verification was actually successful. And when the reward was issued, it even startled the staff. How can there be an extra reward? How is this possible? The mission information was displayed in front of him. Exceeded completion of special mission, explore the mysterious manor. Basic reward, 50,000 points, 500 military merits. Extra reward, 50,000 points, 500 military merits. Chapter 1183 The first use of contribution points. Lin Mo left the mission center in the staff's shocked eyes. Looking at Lin Mo's background, the staff could not understand why this toy could get an extra reward. It was just a toy. The previous people did not receive extra rewards, they only received basic rewards. But even just the basic rewards had made them ecstatic. 50,000 points was already a lot, and 500 military merits was even more precious. This was also one of the reasons that attracted many people to go there one after another. Now Lin Mo had received an extra reward, totaling 100,000 points and 1,000 military merits, which was really too generous. But Lin Mo was always calm and indifferent, as if he didn't care about these rewards. This was very surprising, and at the same time accompanied by incomprehension. Until Lin Mo completely disappeared from sight, he had not fully recovered. Lin Mo was not in a hurry to take on a new mission. After leaving the mission center, he went straight to the trading center. He was filled with things. There were as many as 20,000 ordinary stellar essence fires, and 46 colored essence fires. In addition, there was a large pile of spoils. Selling these things would also be a considerable wealth. Originally, it should have been dealt with when he came back last time, but then the military merit incident happened, and then the mysterious manor appeared, delaying the matter. The trip to the mysterious manor had yielded another batch of spoils, and this time it was just right to deal with them together. In the trading center, for every 10,000 points of transaction amount, you can get 1 military merit. It seems that this is a way to earn military merits, but it is not that easy. How could such an obvious loophole be left out? How many spoils you get, how many enemies you kill, are all recorded in the battlefield token. A slight difference is normal. If it exceeds too much, it will be considered that you are earning military merits and will also be punished. A true God Realm person who obtains the spoils of a God King Realm person will naturally be suspected. That was the case with Lin Mo at the time. A true God Realm person reversed and killed a God King, so he was suspected and reported. The military's aim is to rather kill by mistake than let go. From the root to prevent the behavior of earning military merits. Although it is impossible to completely prevent it, it still effectively curbs most of the behavior of earning military merits. I hope they don't bother me this time, eh? Lin Mo smiled self-deprecatingly and walked into the trading center. The trading center in the fortress still exudes a strong military style, with facilities that are angular and very simple. Although not very delicate and luxurious, it has a heavy atmosphere. This is my second time at the trading center in Fortress Number 1. Because this is the only trading center in the entire battlefield, it is extremely lively here. Many people are operating in front of the trading counters, either buying or selling. There are also many people waiting around, clearly the trading counters are full. Lin Mo Yu did not go to the trading counter, the scale of his transaction this time is very large, and it must be carried out in the trading room. He went straight to the central counter and said to the staff, "Please arrange a trading room for me." The staff member was a woman, wearing a delicate robe, with a graceful figure, revealing beautiful lines. Her appearance is also very beautiful. Lin Mo Yu found that whether it is a trading center in the human race star territory, or a trading center in the battlefield, they like to use some women as staff. And they are all beautiful women. The woman looked up at Lin Mo Yu, her big eyes were bright and piercing, her attitude was gentle and polite. "Hello, sir, there are some conditions to meet to apply for a trading room." Lin Moyu understood the rules. What conditions? The woman's voice was clear and full of smiles. The transaction amount must exceed 1 million points, or your military rank is a sergeant, or your cultivation realm has reached God King. She introduced the various conditions for applying for a trading room one by one. Either the transaction amount is sufficient, or the military rank is sufficient, or the cultivation is sufficient. The transaction amount is easy to prove, just go to the trading counter and apply for a transaction. If there are valuable things, the trading counter will directly apply for a trading room through the Human Emperor network. Originally, Lin Moyu thought so too, but now the trading counter is full, there are many people waiting. Lin Moyu didn't want to wait. The military rank is not enough for a sergeant, so there is no way to apply. He is still a 9th order warrior, still a little short. The cultivation realm has reached God King, also not enough. The woman said a few more conditions. Lin Moyu could not meet them. At this time, a middle-aged man came over and chuckled. Young man, many transactions can be completed on the trading counter, it is not necessary to apply for a trading room. Speaking, he said to the woman, Sister Yu Qing, please apply for a trading room for me, I got some good things this time. Lin Moyu's conversation with Yu Qing just now did not hide anything, others could hear it completely if they wanted to. Originally, this woman's name is Yu Qing. Lin Moyu thought of the trading master named Yu Zhu. Yu Qing and Yu Zhu, the two seemed to have many similarities. Not in appearance, but in temperament. Yu Qing turned to look at the middle-aged man. Senior Lu, please wait a moment. This middle-aged man surnamed Lu is a god king, he said with a smile. No hurry, no hurry. Lin Moyu could see that he obviously had some interest in Yu Qing, but Yu Qing didn't seem to have any thoughts about him. But a fair lady is sought after by a gentleman, which is also human nature. The god king surnamed Lu said with a smile, Young man, don't worry, let Sister Yu Qing think about it again, maybe there are some conditions that can be met. Now the trading counter is full, it is estimated that queuing will take at least 2 or 3 hours. Lin Moyu smiled, thank you for your reminder, senior. He could see that God King Lu had no malice. He had been watching from the side for a long time, just wanting to take the opportunity to come over and talk to Yu Qing. Yu Qing was still helping Lin Moyu to think of a way, but unfortunately Lin Moyu was not satisfied with various conditions. She thought of another condition, but that condition was even more difficult, and whispered, it would be great if you had contribution points. Contribution points? Lin Moyu asked, can I directly apply for a trading room by consuming contribution points? If consuming contribution points can apply for a trading room, it is really not cost-effective. Lin Moyu would not do such a short-sighted thing. Yu Qing shook her head repeatedly. No, you don't need to consume contribution points. Contribution points are so precious, how could you waste them on such a thing? My meaning is, as long as you have contribution points, you can apply for a trading room, you don't need to consume them. Lin Moyu understood. Contribution points are equivalent to a pass, you only need to show it, you don't need to use it. Finally, I saw the first use of contribution points, this is easy to do. Lin Moyu directly handed over the battlefield token, I have contribution points. Yu Qing's eyes suddenly glowed, looking at Lin Moyu with some disbelief. Contribution points are difficult to obtain, people with contribution points are people who have made contributions to the human race, and naturally have some privileges. The man in front of him, obviously so young, only at the 5th level of True God, can actually have contribution points, it is really incredible. Not only Yu Qing felt incredible, the God King Lu next to him also felt incredible, even he didn't have contribution points, how could Lin Moyu, a True God 5th level, have them? He said kindly, little guy, contribution points are not obtained casually, you wouldn't be mistaken. Lin Moyu found it interesting, he is at least a true god, how could he be mistaken about this? Chapter 1184, Accepting the Legacy of Alien Races. Yu Qing stretched out her snow-white jade hand, skillfully took the battlefield token, and began to inquire. The battlefield token contains Lin Moyu's information, which will eventually be displayed through the Human Emperor network. She quickly inquired about Lin Moyu's contribution points, and an incredible look appeared on her beautiful face. God King Lu saw this and said with a smile, Sister Yu Qing, did the little guy make a mistake? Yu Qing looked up at Lin Moyu, her eyes full of curiosity and astonishment, in short, very complicated. I will apply for a trading room for you, please wait a moment. Yu Qing's tone changed, with a bit more respect, and at the same time returned the battlefield token to Lin Moyu. When receiving the token, she used one hand, and when returning the token, she used both hands. The meaning contained in it is self-evident. Lin Moyu nodded slightly. Thank you for your trouble. He stood aside, not in a hurry. God King Lu saw it in his eyes, and had already guessed that Lin Moyu had contribution points. This attracted his attention. A cultivator at the 5th level of True God can obtain contribution points. Lin Moyu's image also became mysterious. The work efficiency of the trading center is very high, and soon someone came over and took Lin Moyu to the trading room. After Lin Moyu left, Yu Qing breathed a long sigh of relief, patting her chest. Fortunately. Yu Qing's cultivation realm is higher than Lin Moyu, but facing someone with contribution points, it is best not to offend them. Fortunately, she was humble and polite just now, and had been helping Lin Moyu to think of a way. God King Lu lowered his voice. This kid really has contribution points. Yu Qing nodded, and more than 1 point. God King Lu was taken aback. More than 1 point. What's his name? Yu Qing whispered. Lin Moyu. God King Lu seemed to have heard this name somewhere. He opened the contribution list of the Vermilion Bird Star territory, and quickly found Lin Moyu's name. Then he found Lin Moyu's name in several other lists. Top of the potential list, 35th on the combat power list, 3rd on the contribution list. Hiss. God King Lu sucked in a breath of cold air. Not to mention anything else, just being 35th on the combat power list is shocking enough. He himself is at the 2nd level of God King, and does not have the ability to fight beyond his level, so he did not even make it into the combat power list. Lin Moyu can rank 35th on the combat power list, indicating that his combat power has completely surpassed himself. A little guy at the 5th level of True God is actually better than himself. God King Lu felt a little incredible. At this time, a soft cry came from his ear, interrupting his thoughts. Yu Qing covered her small mouth, her bright beautiful eyes widened. I know who he is. A few days ago, someone received the military's honor title. That person was called Lin Moyu. At that time, he was questioned by the military for swiping military merits, because he killed a lot of True God Peak and God Kings, but he proved himself and instantly killed the Starry Sky Behemoth prisoner lion at the 2nd level of God King. God King Lu happened to be away from Fortress No. 1 at that time, but he had also heard of it. He didn't expect it to be the young man just now. Yu Qing covered her mouth. Oh no, I shouldn't have leaked his information. You can't tell anyone, otherwise he won't pay attention to you. God King Lu chuckled. Don't you know me, my mouth is very tight, don't worry. He chatted with Yu Qing for a few more words until someone else came over, and then he said goodbye and left. Passing through the hall of the trading center and a not-so-long corridor, what came into view was a beautifully decorated indoor garden. The greenery in the garden was lush, and the flowers exuded a charming fragrance. At the top of the garden, a formation slowly revolved, scattering light and bringing warmth. In this star fortress, which was mainly black and gray, exuded a fierce aura, and was aimed at war. The sudden appearance of such a completely different area made Lin Mo feel a little stunned. It seems that the person in charge of the trading center is also a lover of beauty. Although he didn't study flowers and plants much, he still knew something. Gentlemen love bamboo, and women love flowers. In this garden, there are flowers but no bamboo, and the layout of the garden is elaborate, as if one can see a woman who loves flowers. In the garden, several pavilions stand among them. The pavilions are exquisite and beautiful, with beautiful patterns carved on them. The light of the formation covers the pavilions, making it impossible to see the situation inside the pavilions. Lin Mo knew that these pavilions were the trading rooms. Looking around, there are 10 pavilions in the garden, which means 10 trading rooms. 6 of them are occupied ABAE, and transactions are in progress, and 4 are empty. In one of the 4 empty pavilions, a transaction master was sitting, making tea, as if waiting for distinguished guests to arrive. Lin Mo walked in, and the formation in the pavilion slowly revolved, scattering a light curtain, obscuring the view. The fragrance of tea was blocked by the formation, unable to overflow, and became more concentrated. Lin Mo looked at the woman who was specially brewing tea, and smiled slightly. What a coincidence. Yu Zhu smiled sweetly at Lin Mo. Mr. Lin, we meet again. It was really a coincidence that the woman in front of him in charge of the transaction was Yu Zhu from the No. 10-to-1 Star Trading Center. The last time he saw Yu Zhu was dressed extremely maturely, exuding a mature charm. But this time, Yu Zhu's dress was much more pretty, although still with a bit of mature charm. It added 7 points of liveliness. Yuzu made a cup of fragrant tea for Lin Mo. Mr. Lin, please have some tea. Lin Mo smiled slightly and sat down, picked up the teacup and smelled the fragrance of the tea. Why are you here? He remembered that in No. 10-1, Yuju's status was higher than that of ordinary transaction masters. Because he didn't know the personnel structure of the trading center, Lin Mo didn't know where Yuzu was. Yuzu smiled gently. The transaction masters in our trading center are not fixed in one place, they often move around, and I happen to be assigned here this time. Lin Mo raised his eyebrows slightly. But your status? Yuzu laughed. Mr. Lin is joking, what status do I have? Yuzu is just an ordinary transaction master. Lin Mo looked at Yuzu, and of course he could see that Yuzu was not an ordinary transaction master. He had dealt with several transaction masters, and neither their temperament nor their behavior was comparable to ordinary transaction masters. But since Yuzu didn't want to say it, Lin Mo wouldn't ask further. He was just here to trade, and it didn't matter what Yuju's identity was. Getting down to business, Lin Mo drank the fragrant tea in his cup and said in a deep voice, the things to be traded this time may be a bit miscellaneous. I don't know if the trading center accepts the legacy of alien races. Legacy of alien races? Yuzu was stunned for a moment before she reacted, giggling and laughing. Mr. Lin is talking about the spoils you got after killing alien races, right? That's right. Yuzu squinted her eyes. Of course we accept them. No matter what it is, we can make the best use of it. Okay, let's start then. Lin Mo said, and began to take things out. In the process, he used a ring on his finger as a cover. But in fact, he directly took items from the storage space. He had killed quite a few alien races recently, and the spoils he obtained were stored in the storage space. Fortunately, those guys all had storage equipment, which didn't take up too much space, otherwise Lin Mo estimated that his storage space would not be able to fit it all. In the storage space, the largest area was occupied by the raw materials from the corpses, and all of them were from the God King realm. Now Lin Mo no longer likes the corpses of the true God realm. Without the skeleton god general taking action, just the bone dragon was enough to sweep the true God realm. Even the corpses of the first and second level of the God King realm were not many, and their power was too small, so Lin Mo didn't like them. It's better for the skeleton god general to strike with a sword. Chapter 1185. One person is not enough, there really are more. Yuzu looked at the dazzling array of storage props of various kinds on the table. Her bright and beautiful eyes were wide and round, and on her delicate face, her small mouth was open enough to fit a duck egg. The action of making tea had long stopped, and her jade-like hands trembled slightly, indicating her restless heart at the moment. She could see that these were all storage equipment, all from different races. There must be a large number of items in the storage equipment. If they were all taken out, the quantity would be incredibly amazing. Lin Mo said, you can slowly estimate the price. If one person can't estimate it, you can call a few more over to help. Yuzu was stunned for a long time before she finally came back to her senses and responded in a low voice, I'll try first. As she spoke, she took out one of them, looking at the storage equipment that looked like a small knife. Is this from the Demon Knife clan? I think so. Lin Mo wasn't very sure. He couldn't remember which guy's legacy this came from. At that time, he might have killed too quickly and didn't pay much attention. Anyway, the stellar essence fire inside had already been collected by him, and nothing else had been touched. Yuzu was obviously not doing this for the first time. She skillfully opened the storage space and took out the things inside. Surprise rose in her eyes again. There were really a lot of things inside. She murmured, this is a storage equipment from the God King realm. She saw some items belonging to the God King realm in the storage space, so she determined that its former owner should be from the God King realm. Lin Mo was still not very sure, maybe. Yuzu rolled her eyes at Lin Mo, as if to say, how could he not even know who he killed? But none of this mattered. Yuzu had already begun to count the items inside and began to estimate the price. Although they were alien races, they were actually races living in the Great World. Most of the items were universal and had their value. Yuzu threw the things into the transaction plate while calculating the price. Lin Mo was very curious about what was behind the transaction plate and why it could estimate the price of items. He wanted to ask, but after thinking about it, he didn't ask in the end. It should be related to the Human Emperor Network, Lin Mo thought in his heart. Yuzu was busy estimating the price and had no time to make tea for Lin Mo. Lin Mo was self-sufficient and provided for himself. A full half-hour later, the total value of the items in the first storage equipment was finally estimated. Yu Zhu sighed a long sigh, her eyes slightly resentful, looking at the dozens of remaining storage equipment on the table and worrying, it seems that I really can't handle it alone. Lin Mo smiled slightly and said nothing. This matter should be left to Yu Zhu to decide for herself. Yu Zhu thought for a while and began to ask the trading center for help. There was more than just her transaction master in the trading center. There were 10 transaction masters permanently stationed in the 10 pavilions. Excluding those who were busy, at least a few more could be called over. With more people, efficiency would naturally be greatly improved. Soon, ripples appeared in the light curtain of the formation, like curtains, opening to both sides. 4 women in long robes walked in, each with a graceful and exquisite figure. Their looks were also top-notch, each a great beauty. All 4 were young, and they bowed slightly to Yu Zhu after entering. Yu Zhu pointed to the storage equipment on the table, "It's all here, you can divide it." The 4 immediately responded in unison, "Okay, Sister Yu Zhu." The 4 immediately scrambled to divide the storage equipment, each responsible for a dozen. They took their respective transaction panels and quickly began to estimate the value. Lin Mo Yu drank tea, watching the busy beauties. When they came in just now, they bowed to Yu Zhu in a very humble manner. There seemed to be a clear difference in status, like the relationship between servants and young ladies in a large family. Moreover, Yu Zhu's tone of voice when speaking to them was also a matter of course. Lin Mo Yu had already felt this situation on Star 10 to 1 last time, but this time it was even more obvious. Obviously, Yu Zhu's status was not ordinary. Lin Mo Yu drank tea, admiring the beauties at work, not in a hurry. With 5 people appraising together, the efficiency increased 5-fold. The items in one storage device after another were clearly estimated. Although they didn't tell him the specific price, Lin Mo Yu could see some shock in their occasional eye contact. Shock meant that the transaction amount would not be too low. Finally, after half a day, the valuation officially ended. The 4 transaction masters bid farewell together, and only Lin Mo Yu and Yu Zhu were left in the transaction room again. Yu Zhu's tone was slightly excited, with a hint of trembling. "Mr. Lin, do you know the value of these treasures?" Lin Mo Yu shook his head slightly. He knew the value was not low, but he didn't care so much about the value. Seeing Lin Mo Yu so calm, Yu Zhu took a deep breath. "A total of 72 storage devices, all the magic weapons and materials. After our estimation, the total value is 35.65 million points." She kept staring at Lin Mo Yu while speaking, and found that Lin Mo Yu didn't show any shock at all, still looking calm and breezy. Even the hand holding the teacup didn't tremble. Lin Mo Yu drank the tea in the cup before slowly nodding. "Okay, let's trade at this price." The price of 35.65 million points was not low, but it was not high either. It could only be said that these guys didn't have anything particularly outstanding in their hands. Like the giant law bead that Lin Mo Yu sold last time, just one sold for 5 million points. Now 72 storage devices, hundreds of magic weapons, and countless materials only sold for 35.65 million points, the gap was huge. Of course, trading here, in addition to obtaining points, can also get 35.65 million military merits. After obtaining this batch of military merits, Lin Mo Yu's military rank can break through the warrior rank and become a sergeant. Sergeants can purchase better materials, better pills, magic weapons and other items from the military. The transaction ended in a pleasant atmosphere. Yu Zhu was obviously very happy to complete such a large transaction at one time. "Mr. Lin can check, the points should have been credited to your account. As for military merits, you still need to go to the military merit office. I hope you can bring so many things next time. No, trade even more items than this time." Just when Yu Zhu thought the transaction was about to end, Lin Mo Yu took out a star essence fire. "How many points is this worth?" Yu Zhu glanced at it and said softly, "Ordinary star essence fire is worth 1,000 points." This value was not too low. After all, ordinary star essence fire was easy to obtain. As long as you spend some time, you can get a lot. It's just that at that level, few people would actively harvest star essence fire, they would have better choices. Yu Zhu's eyes shone brightly. "Mr. Lin wants to trade star essence fire." She had long been guessing where Lin Mo Yu got so many storage devices. It seemed that he killed them while collecting star essence fire. Lin Moyu smiled slightly and took out some more storage props. They were filled with star essence fire. These storage props added up to a full 20,000. Yu Ju's eyes widened again. There really are more. After checking, Yu Zu breathed a sigh of relief. Although Lin Moyu took out more than a dozen storage devices, they were all filled with star essence fire. A few thousand at least, 2,000 at most, adding up to exactly 20,000 star essence fires. At a price of 1,000 points per fire, that was another 20 million points, plus 2,000 military merits. Yu Ju's eyes flashed with inexplicable light, and Lin Moyu became extremely mysterious in her mind. Such a large transaction amount had never appeared among cultivators in the True God realm. Not to mention the True God realm, even the God King realm was rarely seen. Generally speaking, the transaction amount of the True God realm was only around hundreds of thousands each time, and occasionally there could be a million-level transaction. The transaction amount of the God King realm was basically between 1 million and 5 million. Occasionally there could be transactions of over 10 million. Unlike Lin Moyu, who traded more than 50 million at one time. The transaction was quickly completed, and Yu Ju's eyes shone with light. Mr. Lin, is there more? Obviously, the higher the transaction amount, the greater the benefits for her. Under her hopeful gaze, Lin Moyu nodded. There is. Really, what is it? Yu Zu was extremely surprised. Before she could finish speaking, various colors of light suddenly flashed in her eyes. The space surrounded by the formation suddenly became distorted and scorching. The temperature rose sharply, reaching an astonishing level almost instantly. Yu Zu was only at the 9th rank of the True God, and not the kind of genius, so she couldn't withstand the high temperature of the 6-colored essence fire. Although star essence fire was very useful, it was also very dangerous. If the cultivation strength was insufficient, not only could they not collect star essence fire, but they could even be burned to death. The formation of the pavilion was rumbling, as if it would collapse at any time. The water in the teacup boiled instantly and then vaporized. The tea set in the pavilion was burned to ashes almost instantly. Yu Ju's body burst into light. The robe she was wearing was a good defensive magic weapon. At this moment, it automatically protected its master, resisting the high temperature. Fortunately, Lin Moyu only showed it for about 2 seconds before quickly putting the 6-colored essence fire away. The 6-colored essence fire was taken away, the formation quickly recovered, and the temperature also dropped. Yu Ju's small face was flushed red, like a cooked shrimp. Her whole body was covered in fragrant sweat, and she gasped for breath. Obviously, her magic weapon had not completely blocked the high temperature. Yu Zu looked terrified, so terrifying, I thought I was going to die just now. Lin Moyu smiled slightly, not really, have a cup of tea, take it easy. He then realized that the teacup, tea set, and table had all turned to ashes in an instant. Lin Moyu whispered, I didn't expect the power of the 6-colored essence fire to be so great, why didn't I feel it before? Lin Moyu himself was not afraid of high temperatures, and no matter how high the temperature, it would have no effect on him. And the people he met were all incredibly powerful, and they were also not afraid of 6-colored essence fire. So he had a wrong estimate of the power of the 6-colored essence fire. Yu Zu, with the fear of surviving a near-death experience, trembled and said, that's 6-colored essence fire. Even some weaker god kings would be burned to death. She looked rather pitiful, having just gone through a life-or-death situation, her little heart still pounding non-stop. Lin Moyu chuckled, so, are you buying it? Yu Zu immediately nodded, yes, of course. But I can't handle it, I'll get someone to buy it. Yu Zu immediately sent a message to find someone. Lin Moyu knew she was going to find an elder. The trading center was a large and established business, it couldn't possibly only have True God realm traders. There must be even stronger experts stationed here. Even if a few god venerables came out now, Lin Moyu wouldn't be surprised. Soon, a beautiful woman walked in. Yu Zu got up and ran to the beautiful woman, taking her hand, Aunt Chu, come and help. Aunt Chu patted Yu Ju's small hand, her eyes filled with affection, and cast a law onto Yu Zu. Yu Zu immediately let out a comfortable moan, and her flushed face quickly returned to normal. Lin Moyu sensed the surging power of law, the law of water. At the same time, he also sensed that this Aunt Chu was a god king, at least a 7th-order god king. The two had similar temperaments. Lin Moyu guessed that their relationship should be very close. And Lin Moyu finally knew where Yu Ju's mature charm came from, she definitely learned it from this Aunt Chu. Clearly a woman, but she had learned to be a mature woman. But then again, combined with Yu Ju's beautiful face, it was even more alluring. Lin Moyu bowed to Aunt Chu. Greetings, senior. Aunt Chu smiled slightly. Little friend, you don't need to be so polite. Little Zhu said you want to sell 6-colored essence fire, can I take a look? Of course. Lin Moyu immediately took out the 6-colored essence fire again. With a high-level God King present, Lin Moyu wasn't worried about what had happened before. As soon as the 6-colored essence fire appeared, and the temperature was about to boil, Aunt Chu pointed her finger at the 6-colored essence fire. As a high-level God King, the 6-colored essence fire was not enough to hurt her. Aunt Chu's fingertip spewed out a vast amount of law, covering the 6-colored essence fire. The law formed a layer of water curtain, shimmering with light, enveloping the 6-colored essence fire. The 6-colored essence fire burned fiercely, but it could not harm this layer of water curtain. At the same time, the temperature of the 6-colored essence fire was completely blocked, with no external benefit. Yu Zhu praised, Aunt Chu is amazing. Aunt Chu chuckled, if you were more serious, you would be more powerful than Aunt Chu sooner or later. Saying that, she began to check the 6-colored essence fire, and after carefully feeling it, she slowly said, it is indeed 6-colored essence fire. Lin Moyu asked, what is the value of this item? Aunt Chu said, very few people sell 6-colored essence fire. Before I came, I checked the transaction records. In the last 100 years, there have been 3 transaction records. The price we offered was 1 million points. What does little friend Lin think of this price? If you are not satisfied, we can discuss it. As she spoke, she glanced at Yu Zhu, who was a little surprised. In the trading center, there was rarely any bargaining. They would quote a price, and if it was suitable, they would trade, if not, they wouldn't. Aunt Chu gave Yu Zhu a look, signaling her not to speak. Lin Moyu had already completed a large transaction of more than 50 million points today, and Lin Moyu's identity seemed to be somewhat special. Aunt Chu had also taken the time to check the information about Lin Moyu. Although not much information was found, she also knew that Lin Moyu had a glory title, and also knew about Lin Moyu's situation on the various lists in the Suzaku Star region. That's why she was so polite to Lin Moyu, and even said that the price could be discussed if he was not satisfied. If it were someone else, there would never be such a thing as negotiating the price. This was showing goodwill, a genuine show of goodwill. Yu Zhu immediately understood, and probably knew why Aunt Chu wanted to do this. Lin Moyu pondered for a few seconds, then said in a deep voice, this price is acceptable. Aunt Chu and Yu Zhu breathed a sigh of relief. In fact, Aunt Chu was also a little uneasy. She was afraid that Lin Moyu would ask for an exorbitant price, making everyone unhappy. Her show of goodwill would become a double-edged sword, making both sides uncomfortable. Fortunately, Lin Moyu did not do so. At this time, Lin Moyu said again, I have more than one. Aunt Chu was slightly surprised, then chuckled, little friend is really surprising. How many more do you have? We'll take them all. There are a total of 30. Chapter 1187 We can help with purchasing. Aunt Chu was stunned, she even had to wonder if she had misheard. She had said before that in nearly 500 years, there had been a total of 3 transactions of 6-colored essence fire. 2 times it was 1, and 1 time it was 2. 6-colored essence fire is a rare treasure, only born in the essence fire origin, and not easy to obtain. Unless one needs it, basically no one would deliberately look for it for points. It's time-consuming, laborious, and extremely dangerous. The flashing stars and fires along the way can be fatal. What's more, one has to face the alien races in the essence fire origin, each of them are powerful enough to fight across borders, making it too dangerous. Various reasons combined, resulting in a particularly small transaction volume of 6-colored essence fire, and 6-colored essence fire is particularly rare. However, not many people need 6-colored essence fire, most only need 4-colored or 5-colored essence fire is enough. When Aunt Chu heard Lin Moyu say the number 30, Aunt Chu and Yu Zhu were stunned. Aunt Chu quickly estimated in her mind that even if all the transaction volume of 6-colored essence fire in the past nearly 500 years was added together, it would not be 30. She stabilized her mind, okay, 30, that's 30 million points, and 3,000 military merits. Lin Moyu nodded, do you want me to take out all the 6-colored essence fire now? Aunt Chu quickly said, no, take them out one by one. She was not like Lin Moyu, who could ignore the high temperature. Aunt Chu took out a jade box, and then released the law covering the 6-colored essence fire. At the moment when the law was released, Aunt Chu used the box to collect the 6-colored essence fire. After the 6-colored essence fire, which was enough to burn everything, was collected by the box, it did not react in any way, nor did it burn the box. Lin Mo Yu took out the 6-colored essence fire one by one, and Aunt Chu kept taking out this special box, collecting the 6-colored essence fire extremely quickly. One box only collects one. Lin Mo Yu looked at this special box, somewhat envious. Lin Mo Yu did not sell all the 6-colored essence fire, he had 46 colored essence fire, sold 30, and kept 10 in case of emergency. Even if he doesn't need it, it's a very good gift to give away. But the problem is that the 6-colored essence fire is too violent. If there is no good method, it may directly burn people to death. If it is released on a life star, it may even melt the life star. If there is this box. Lin Mo Yu directly asked, how many points is the box in your hand, is it for sale? Without waiting for Aunt Chu to speak, Yu Zhu had already learned to answer, this box is specially made by us, it is not for sale. Although Yu Zhu also has a bit of maturity, she still looks a bit naive in front of Aunt Chu, with a bit more playfulness. Perhaps this is her true appearance, the appearance in front of her relatives. Lin Mo Yu was slightly disappointed, it seems that I can only find another way. Aunt Chu chuckled, although we don't sell fire-avoiding boxes to the public, we can give a few to little friend. Lin Mo Yu was overjoyed, is that appropriate? Aunt Chu smiled, it doesn't matter, how many does little friend want? Lin Mo Yu said, 13, please. Aunt Chu glared at Lin Mo Yu, revealing a charming side. Obviously, she also guessed that Lin Mo possessed more than 36 colored essence fires. Being intelligent, she naturally wouldn't inquire further. Their relationship was a simple transaction and cooperation. Lin Mo provided the goods, and they offered sufficient points, that's all. Aunt Chu retrieved 15 fire avoidance boxes and handed them to Lin Mo, explaining, the quality of these boxes isn't very stable. Some have flaws. If you're unlucky enough to encounter them, I've given you a few extra, just in case. Lin Mo accepted the fire avoidance boxes without hesitation, thank you, senior. After Aunt Chu had collected all 36 colored essence fires, she said with a smile, leave the rest to Xiaoju. Aunt Chu left the pavilion, and Yu Zhu retrieved a tea table, starting to brew fresh tea. Soon, the fragrance of tea filled the pavilion, accompanied by a cool sensation. Mr. Lin, please have a taste. Yu Zhu had completely calmed down, regaining her usual grace. Dignified, mature, yet with a hint of youthful liveliness. Blending various qualities, she was quite alluring. Unfortunately, Lin Mo remained as indifferent as a log, showing little interest as he picked up the freshly brewed tea and took a small sip. The tea was clearly still boiling, but the teacup felt cool to the touch. A fragrance rushed into his throat, then exploded, and a strong sense of coolness quickly spread throughout every corner of his body. Lin Mo felt as if he were trapped in an ice cave, which was somewhat comfortable. Yu Zhu also took a sip, then shivered all over, her small mouth slightly open as she exhaled a stream of white air that collided with the formation's barrier. So comfortable. Yu Zhu Sahida not E squared, losing her mature charm for the moment, leaving only youthful playfulness. Lin Mo felt that this was Yu Zhu's true face. That hint of maturity was all an act, learned from her Aunt Chu. A thin layer of ice appeared on Yu Zhu's body, which quickly turned into white frost and gradually dissipated. Lin Mo's expression remained unchanged as he asked, what kind of tea is this? Yu Zhu giggled, how is it? Amazing, right? This is cold tea from the Ice Clan, paired with the Ice Clan's frost ice water, it creates an effect that dispels heat. If I had known you were going to bring out the 6-colored essence fire, I would have had a cup earlier, so I wouldn't have been so embarrassed. Lin Mo smiled slightly, this tea is good, it contains the power of laws. Yu Zhu echoed, of course, we bought this tea from the military, the quantity is limited, you can't buy it outside. Lin Mo sensed some underlying meaning and asked, you have cooperation with the military, right? The fire avoidance boxes also seem to be from the military. The fire avoidance boxes appeared ordinary, but had extraordinary functions, very much in line with the military's style. Yu Zhu nodded, yes, it's not a secret. Our Yu family has always cooperated with the military. 407. Like all the things you sold us today, the military gets to pick through them first. We can only handle what they don't want. Of course, in return, we can also get some benefits from the military. And you can earn military merits in the transaction. What Yu Zhu said wasn't a secret. People at a certain level would know. Even if Lin Moi was interested, he could find out a lot by asking around. Lin Moi understood this. The number of cultivators far exceeded the number of soldiers, and the materials and items obtained during missions also far exceeded those of the military. Most of the harvest would flow to the trading center, and then the military would select it again, and the military would purchase what they needed at a lower price. Then the military would make some materials into their unique items and release them again. Thus, forming a relatively perfect cycle. Yu Zhu enjoyed the comfort brought by the iced tea. Your transaction amount today reached more than 70 million, and your military merits are also more than 7,000, you should be able to improve your military rank. But for you, raising your military rank is not very useful, it just allows you to buy some military items. But I'll tell you a secret, if you see something you need, and your military rank is not enough, you can come to us, we can help you purchase it on your behalf. And we charge points, not military merits, but the price will be a little higher. First 1188th. Chapters Yu Zhu shows goodwill, military rank promotion. Coming out of the trading center, Lin Moi was still thinking about what Yu Zhu said last. Why would she tell me this? Purchasing military supplies on behalf, this seems to be a loophole, but it can't be completely considered a loophole. Most people shouldn't be able to enjoy this loophole. To purchase on behalf through the trading center will inevitably only help a few people. Lin Moi felt that since Yu Zhu could tell him, it meant that the military must also know about this operation of the trading center. But the two sides were in a cooperative relationship, so the military turned a blind eye, as long as the quantity was not too much, not excessive, and would not cause any trouble. The world was originally uneven, and this unevenness can only be filled with strength. After Lin Moi thought about Yu Zhu's words, he realized that Yu Zhu was showing him goodwill. It should be because of his potential that she had this performance. It's just that the price of purchasing on behalf is a bit too expensive. Normally, the value ratio of military merits and points is about 1,000 times. This is compared from purchasing power. For similar things, if it takes 10,000 points, it only takes 10 military merits to exchange. But this ratio is not completely absolute, it will fluctuate according to the item. But the highest will not exceed 2,000 times. But the price Yu Zhu told Lin Moi was basically 5,000 times, and some things were even higher, even reaching 10,000 times. This price difference is a bit alarming. For this reason, Yu Zhu also explained to Lin Moi and showed Lin Moi a list of what they could purchase on their behalf. The items on the list were indeed very high-end and tempting, and many were unique to the military and not sold to the public. Even if your military rank is higher, as long as you have not joined the army for a day, don't even think about buying these things. For example, one of them, called the Destruction Battleship. According to the introduction, it contains the complete destruction law and has the battle power comparable to the third level of the God Lord. The minimum usage requirement is only true God. Imagine a true God manipulating the destruction battleship, can call board with a third level God Lord, how terrifying should this battleship be? Compared to Lin Moi's War King Tower, I don't know how much stronger. Similarly, its price is also shockingly high, requiring 1 million military merits. 1 million military merits can directly turn a general's military rank into an ordinary soldier. If you use points, it takes 10 billion points to exchange, a true 10,000 times ratio. At first, Lin Moi felt that 10 billion points was a bit too exaggerated, who could get it? But looking back, he realized that he was thinking wrong. He is still in the true God realm, and can trade more than 70 million points at one time. If it is a God Lord who takes action, is 10 billion points still difficult? The God Lord exchanged the destruction battleship and can completely hand it over to future generations to use. What is exchanged is the God Lord, and it is not stipulated who uses it. Moreover, military merits will drop the military rank if they are consumed, while points will not affect the level of authority if they are consumed. Looking at it this way, Lin Moi felt that a 10,000 times ratio didn't seem unacceptable. Still pora diaresis a. Lin Moi chuckled, his points have exceeded 80 million. It seems that he is already very wealthy, but if he really wants to use it, he can't even buy a decent good thing. Thinking back to when Jiyu Qingshan was distressed for a long time for 100 points, it was a bit funny. The clear and cold appearance of Jiyu Qingshan appeared in his mind. I haven't seen her for a long time, I don't know how her mission to enter the God City is going. Yu Qingshan's second series of missions is almost done. It is estimated that the evaluation will not be too low. In addition, with the guidance of Night Wind God Lord behind her, her probability of entering God City will not be small. If not 100%, there are also 90%. Coming to the military merit office again, there were still many people queuing up, submitting tasks, and recording military merits. Most people would not choose to settle their military merits when leaving the battlefield. They needed military merits to purchase items to ensure they could successfully carry out tasks on the battlefield, or rather, to survive. Lin Moyu bypassed the crowd and went to another counter. There were several counters in the military merit office, handling different matters. Lin Moyu was going to handle matters related to military rank promotion. His military merits had exceeded 16,000, which already met the requirements for promotion. However, he was still displayed as a 9th rank warrior, and he needed military approval to be promoted. Oh, what a coincidence. The corners of Lin Moyu's mouth raised slightly, revealing a meaningful smile. The person in charge of handling military rank promotions was none other than Meng Gang. When Lin Moyu saw Meng Gang also saw Lin Moyu. "Why are you here?" Meng Gang asked in a low voice, his face not looking very good. Lin Moyu looked around. "Sergeant Meng, aren't you the person in charge of the military merit office? Why are you here?" As a second-rank sergeant and the person in charge of the military merit office, why would he come to handle daily affairs? Meng Gang's face became even more unsightly, but he couldn't explode. He snorted softly in a very low voice, "You know it." Although his voice was very soft, Lin Moyu still heard it. Lin Moyu roughly guessed what was going on. He should have been punished because of his incident. Looking at the military badge on his shoulder, he had actually dropped from a second-rank sergeant to a first-rank sergeant. Was he demoted, or did he buy something and use up his military merits? Meng Gang was indeed demoted and had some military merits deducted. He had originally just been promoted to a second-rank sergeant, but after deducting some military merits, he directly dropped back to a first-rank sergeant. And he was also punished to handle daily affairs here, which made him very depressed. But there was no way, wrong was wrong, and wrong had to be punished. He still understood this principle. Suppressing the boredom in his heart, Meng Gang said in a deep voice, "What are you here for?" Lin Moyu chuckled. "It seems that Sergeant Meng is still angry. Don't mind it, it was just a misunderstanding. I'm here to be promoted." Promoted? Meng Gang looked at Lin Moyu suspiciously. At that time, Lin Moyu was only a 5th-rank warrior, and even if he obtained the title of honor, he was still a 5th-rank warrior. It was still too early for military rank promotion. Military merits were not so easy to obtain. Unlike points, one task could get thousands or tens of thousands. Each task could get 1,000 military merits, which was already very good. Unless, Meng Gang thought of a possibility and couldn't help but look at Lin Moyu a few times, feeling that it was not impossible. Anyway, the mistakes he made last time could not be repeated. "Give me the battlefield token." Lin Moyu handed over the battlefield token. Meng Gang manipulated the battlefield token for a while, his face changing, revealing a look of as expected. Lin Moyu's military merits had indeed reached the level where he could be promoted. And his military merits were as high as 16,666, which was not far from a second-rank sergeant. How could it be so fast? How many points did this guy sell? Meng Gang was also extremely shocked in his heart. He went from more than 5,000 military merits to 16,666 military merits all of a sudden. Even if he was really farming military merits, it was impossible to be so fast. But he didn't dare to easily suspect Lin Moyu. With a complicated look, he began to carefully check it. The battlefield token clearly recorded the detailed information of each of Lin Moyu's military merits. Verifying the source of military merits was also one of his jobs. The more Meng Gang verified, the more surprised he became. He raised his head with a complicated look. "I will apply for a military rank promotion task for you." Chapter 1189. There must be something wrong with the Human Emperor Network. The source of Lin Moyu's military merits was very clear and there was no problem. Most of them came from transactions. As for why the transaction volume was so large, it was not something that Meng Gang, a small sergeant, could manage. He couldn't ask his superiors for questions and investigate Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu's identity was different from before. The title of honor alone was enough to crush him. If there was something wrong again, he wouldn't have to be a sergeant anymore, just be an ordinary soldier. After working so hard for so many years, Meng Gang didn't want to ruin it because of some personal grudges. Therefore, Meng Gang didn't pick on Lin Moyu to find trouble. Lin Moyu smiled. Although he didn't understand Meng Gang, he believed that Meng Gang was not an idiot and would not lose big because of small things. Meng Gang returned the battlefield token to Lin Moyu. The military merits have met the promotion conditions, and now you only need to complete the promotion task. Lin Moyu frowned slightly. Military rank promotion, do you still need to complete a task? He had never heard of a military rank promotion task. Meng Gang said in a deep voice, our soldiers need to complete tasks to be promoted. If you are not a soldier, you don't need to. Your identity is different, so you need to complete the task to be promoted. Lin Moyu understood that the reason was his title of honor. Having the title of honor can be regarded as a member of the military and enjoy the same treatment as the military. For example, buying some rare items that only soldiers can buy, and more importantly, forming a private army. Since you enjoy these benefits, you must also pay something. Everything in the world is fair. It is impossible to only gain without paying. Lin Moyu understood the matter, his expression still calm. There must be a price to pay for rewards. Meng Gang glanced at him. It's good to understand. The task has been applied for and will be available today. Don't leave Fortress Number 1 before the task is issued. Lin Moyu asked, Sergeant Meng, have you done a promotion task before? Meng Gang nodded, of course. What task did you do at that time? Was it dangerous? Can you tell me? Lin Moyu continued to ask. Meng Gang looked at Lin Moyu blankly, as if to say, are we very close? Why should I tell you? Lin Moyu smiled unchanged, looking at Meng Gang with gentle eyes. After hesitating for a while, Meng Gang sighed. Everyone receives different tasks. There are personal tasks, there are team tasks, some tasks are dangerous, some tasks are not dangerous. My task at that time was to go to a place to find something. I can't tell you the specific content of the task, this is a military secret, we have regulations. ABAE, but what I can tell you is that the difficulty of the task is related to personal talent. Generally speaking, the higher the talent, the greater the difficulty of the task. The difficulty of team tasks will be higher than personal tasks. That's all I can say, you will naturally know the rest when your task is issued. Lin Moyu remembered what Meng Gang said, and smiled and clasped his fists. Thank you, Sergeant Meng. You're welcome, the last time was my fault, this time is my compensation, it's clear. Meng Gang waved his hand and stopped talking. Lin Moyu smiled slightly, Sergeant Meng is just doing his duty. Leaving the military merit office, Lin Moyu looked back at this angular, black and gray solemn building. The entire building exudes a strong military atmosphere. He cannot leave Fortress Number 1 before the promotion task is issued. The task must be issued through the Human Emperor Network, so he must stay in a place where the Human Emperor Network can cover. He knew why Meng Gang's attitude changed in the end. Meng Gang is not an idiot, as long as he calms down, he can understand. Maintaining a good relationship with someone like myself is more beneficial than creating a strained one. Moreover, I now possess an honorary title and can barely be considered part of the military, a comrade of Meng Gang. Meng Gang isn't petty, he can naturally distinguish what's important. Lin Mo didn't purchase any equipment at the military depot. He plans to wait until the mission is assigned to decide what to buy. I wonder if the military rank promotion mission counts as a battlefield mission. Regardless, I need to find a place to store the essence fire first. Lin Mo walked towards the other side. Within the Star Fortress, there are dedicated quiet rooms for cultivators. For a fee of some points, one can rent them and not be disturbed by the outside world. Inside the military depot, Meng Gang's expression was complex. He recalled the military merit record that Lin Mo had just displayed. Each entry of military merit earned was very detailed, which shocked him immensely. Especially when he saw that Lin Mo's information contained 3 contribution points, he was even more astonished. Points, military merits, and contributions. Points are the easiest to obtain, military merits are second, but contributions are difficult to acquire. Unless one can accomplish a significant deed that benefits the human race, can they obtain contribution points, and even then, it's only 1 point each time. Meng Gang couldn't understand what Lin Mo had done. But the more he couldn't understand, the more he found Lin Mo terrifying. This terror suppressed the slight unpleasantness in his heart, and in the end, he decided to resolve his conflict with Lin Mo. In the Great World, within the Vermilion Bird Star region, Zhang Ziyu, ranked second on the potential ranking, had just finished a period of closed-door cultivation. Although his cultivation level only increased slightly, from True God rank 8 to True God rank 9. His combat strength had increased significantly, far more astonishing than the improvement in cultivation level. Zhang Ziyu knew that his potential had increased again, and he immediately checked the potential ranking, finding that Lin Mo was still ranked above him. A trace of resentment arose in his heart. Lin Mo, you don't dare accept my challenge, a coward. What qualifications do you have to be ranked above me? It seems that the Human Emperor network isn't very reliable either. How can it allow someone like this to be on the list? After a round of complaints, Zhang Ziyu muttered to himself, my current combat strength should be comparable to a God King rank 1, even if I can't beat them, it won't be much different. Fighting across realms, how many people can do it? He was somewhat complacent. I wonder if my current combat strength is enough to get on the combat strength ranking. No, I haven't verified my combat strength yet, so I definitely can't get on the list. Unless I go challenge someone on the combat strength ranking. Let me see, who should I look for first? Saying that, he opened the combat strength ranking, automatically ignoring the top 10. Those were all big shots with combat strength exceeding God King rank 4, he didn't want to be abused. He counted down one by one. Some people he knew how strong their combat strength was. Some people he hadn't heard of, but being able to be on the combat strength ranking was definitely not bad. Suddenly, a look of surprise appeared on his face. He actually saw Lin Mo's name on the combat strength ranking. Lin Mo, combat strength ranking 35. Being ranked 35th on the combat strength ranking requires at least a combat strength above God King rank 3 to be eligible. Impossible, this is impossible. How could he have such strong combat strength? The Human Emperor network must have had a problem somewhere. How could this coward have such strong combat strength? Zhang Ziyu shouted in disbelief, as if he had been stimulated by something. He clenched his fists, his voice icy cold. If the Human Emperor network didn't make a mistake, then his realm is higher than mine. I must find him and make him accept my challenge. I want to prove that I am the most outstanding genius, number 1 on the potential ranking. In a challenge of the same realm, I, Zhang Ziyu, will never lose to anyone. Saying that, he rushed into the teleportation array and disappeared. Chapter 1190. They wouldn't punish me twice, would they? Lin Mo sat in the quiet room and took out a 6-colored essence fire. The temperature in the quiet room rose sharply, the air became distorted and scorching, and the small quiet room instantly turned into a lava cave. The 6-colored essence fire was like a star, constantly emitting light and heat outwards. The formation in the quiet room rumbled into operation, blocking all movements inside. But under the burning of the 6-colored essence fire, this formation couldn't last long. Lin Mo sat beside the 6-colored essence fire, not caring about the temperature at all. He took out a fire-resistant box and then put the 6-colored essence fire inside. He didn't act as quickly as Aunt Chu, but slowly and deliberately pinched the extremely hot 6-colored essence fire, and then still slowly put it into the fire-resistant box. The fire-resistant box closed, the temperature dropped rapidly, and the defensive formation in the quiet room gradually stopped. The fire-resistant box was square, and the appearance was extremely simple, without even a pattern. After putting the lid on the box, the fire-resistant box was simply a cube, a pitch-black cube. It was indeed not good-looking, but very practical. The 6-colored essence fire was placed in it, and there was not even a trace of heat transfer. The military's things, although simple and not good-looking, are still quite useful. Lin Mo also knew that this was the characteristic of military products. Everything starts from practicality, no need to look good, just need to be useful. A faint light lit up, a breeze blew, and Lin Mo used the detection technique. Fire-resistant box, a container made from the bones of a God King realm ice soul beast, which can isolate flames. Under the detection technique, Lin Mo learned the source of the fire-resistant box's materials. The material used was the bones of the ice soul beast. The ice soul beast is a kind of starry sky beast, very powerful. The ice soul beast is transcendent God realm at birth, and naturally reaches God King realm after adulthood, and becomes God Venerate realm with a little cultivation. From soul to body, the ice soul beast is filled with coldness, and is good at manipulating laws of ice. There was a record that a newly born ice soul beast accidentally fell on a human race's life star. This was an ordinary life star, without any cultivators. 2 years later, the entire life star was frozen by ice, and none of the creatures on it survived. It was not until 10 years later that a strong man discovered it and killed the ice soul beast. After 10 years of freezing, the ground of the star has been frozen for 100 kilometers. If it was a few decades later, I am afraid the entire star would become a dead star. This was just a newly born ice soul beast. If it was an adult ice soul beast, it could freeze a life star to death at once. It can even freeze the star to extinction. When Lin Mo saw the information, he sincerely thought, if it catches fire, it should be good for extinguishing the fire. Lin Mo put away the fire-resistant box and continued to put away the 6-colored essence fire. Soon, all 10 6-colored essence fires were put into the fire-resistant box. The fire-resistant box did not have the quality problem that Aunt Chu said, and it was successful every time. There were still 3 7-colored essence fires left. These 3 7-colored essence fires were prepared for Yu Qingru. Lin Mo was not very sure whether the fire-resistant box could withstand the burning of the 7-colored essence fire. Let's try it. He took out the 7-colored essence fire, and a vast heat wave swept out, instantly impacting the formation of the quiet room. The defensive formation in the quiet room was brighter than ever before, blooming with brilliant brilliance. Accompanied by bursts of sounds like glass breaking, the entire quiet room was shaking, and it was about to collapse. The ground of the quiet room had become red, as if it was about to be burned away. The 7-colored essence fire was too strong, and the heat released was so terrifying. Lin Mo quickly took out the wall box and put the 7-colored essence fire into it. He closed the box, and the fire avoidance box vibrated violently, as if it would explode at any moment. Lin Mo looked at the fire avoidance box, feeling that the temperature on its surface had risen. It had been icy cold before, but now it was somewhat warm. Hopefully, it can hold on. Lin Mo was watching, ready to collect the 7-colored divine fire at any time. If the 7-colored divine fire appeared in the Star Fortress, it would probably kill a large number of true God Realm cultivators. After vibrating for a while, the fire avoidance box finally began to calm down. It held. Lin Mo was overjoyed. Military products are indeed extraordinary. After the fire avoidance box was completely stable and the surface temperature gradually decreased, returning to its usual icy coldness, Lin Mo put it away. Looking at the riddled quiet room, Lin Mo knew that this quiet room could no longer be used. If it happened again, it would probably collapse directly. After Lin Mo left, he changed to another quiet room and continued. Soon, Lin Mo came out of the second quiet room and changed to the third quiet room. After continuously changing 3 quiet rooms, Lin Mo left the Star Fortress expressionlessly, walking in a bit of a hurry. After he left, someone came to the quiet room and happened to choose one that Lin Mo had stayed in before. 0A seeking fresh flowers. As soon as the door opened, a heatwave rushed towards them. The heatwave was so hot that the clothes on his body were instantly scorched, then turned to ashes, scattering into the starry sky with the heat flow. Then a scream echoed through the starry sky. Lin Mo, who had already walked far away, vaguely heard the scream, his face embarrassed. Sorry. The ultra-high temperature of the 7-colored divine fire damaged the quiet room and its internal defensive formations, causing the high temperature to be difficult to dissipate for a long time, which is why this scene happened. The high temperature would not kill people, but it would burn clothes. Lin Mo, with a hint of apology, went to the mission center. While there was still time, he looked for a mission suitable for him. Ding! Suddenly, a message came from the Human Emperor Network. The promotion mission is here. ... 0. Lin Mo's heart moved, and his consciousness connected to the Human Emperor Network. You damaged the Vermilion Bird battlefield, quiet rooms at Star Fortress No. 1, a total of 3. Therefore, 3 million of your points will be deducted as compensation. ... The corner of Lin Mo's mouth twitched. It turned out they were here to find him. The Human Emperor Network was indeed impeccable, even such a small matter could be caught. Deduct it then, Lin Mo said. One person does it, one person takes responsibility. He was a rich man with a net worth of 80 million, so a mere 3 million was nothing. Entering the mission center, the mission desks were crowded. Lin Mo waited for a while, until an empty mission desk became available, and began to look for a suitable mission for himself. In the second chain mission, he had to complete 5 battlefield missions. So far, none had been completed. However, Lin Mo was just looking and didn't take on any missions. Currently, the promotion mission for the military rank was the priority. There were many battlefield missions, some of which had requirements for cultivation level. These missions were often more dangerous, but the rewards were also more generous. From the amount of rewards, one could basically judge the difficulty of a mission. Lin Mo basically ignored the missions with few rewards, and specifically chose some missions with generous rewards. And he remembered what Qian Huang said, the missions in the Human Emperor Network were also categorized. He could choose combat-oriented missions as much as possible. After a long time, he gradually locked onto several missions. Ding! A soft sound came, and the Human Emperor Network sent another message. This time it should be a promotion mission, it wouldn't be to find me twice, would it? Chapter 1191, Military Rank Promotion Mission. Lin Mo was slightly stunned after seeing the message. It wasn't an ordinary message, it required his consciousness to fully enter the Human Emperor Network. Lin Mo left the mission desk and gave it to the latecomer. He found a slightly secluded place, leaned against the wall, and then his consciousness connected to the Human Emperor Network. The scene in front of him gradually became illusory, and the mission center rippled like water waves, eventually disappearing. What replaced it was a starry sky. His consciousness entered the Human Emperor Network, and what he saw was the scene constructed by the Human Emperor Network. A middle-aged man in military uniform with a dignified expression walked from the starry sky, and came to Lin Mo in 2 or 3 steps. When Lin Mo saw the person coming, he slowly saluted. Lin Mo has met the Legion commander. Ke Yuanjin maintained his usual seriousness. I am here to issue this promotion mission to you. Lin Mo was slightly stunned. Does the promotion mission require you to issue it personally? Ke Yuanjin shook his head. Others don't need it, you are different. He was different. How was he different? Lin Mo didn't understand for a while. However, Ke Yuanjin had already started talking about the mission content, and Lin Mo immediately pricked up his ears to listen. Fortress number 6, area number 99, produces Shuo gold stone, and we have many cultivators active there. Recently, we received news that a group of gold-devouring beasts was born there, hunting many cultivators active there. Your mission is to lead a squad to rescue the human cultivators in that area. The squad, including you, has a total of 5 people, and the personnel have been arranged. You are the captain. Ke Yuanjin finished the mission and said in a deep voice, the above is the mission content. If there is anything you don't understand, you can ask now. This mission seemed simple, just saving people. But since Ke Yuanjin had to come and announce it personally, it must not be that simple. Lin Mo asked, the number and level of the gold-devouring beasts, is there a specific location? Based on his understanding of the battlefield, the starry sky controlled by each fortress is called a war zone. Each war zone is divided into 100 areas. Like what Ke Yuanjin said, Fortress number 6, area number 99. It is actually War Zone 6, area 99, number 6 to 99. Area 6 to 99 was much smaller than Area 5 to 38 that Lin Mo had been to. The spherical area has a diameter of only 0.01 light-years, about 100 billion kilometers. The area where Shuo gold is collected has a diameter of only about 60 billion kilometers, and the rest of the area is a vast starry sky. Although it only has a diameter of 0.01 light-years, it is still a huge area for true God Realm cultivators. Such a large area, just a 5-person squad going in to find it, is even more unreliable than finding a needle in a haystack. However, since the mission has been assigned, Lin Mo believes that there must be a method, otherwise this mission would be nonsense. Ke Yuanjin said in a deep voice, the number of gold-devouring beasts is unknown, but they are group-based star behemoths, and the number is generally between 5,000 and 10,000. According to our understanding of the gold-devouring beasts, the average strength of the gold-devouring beasts is concentrated between the 8th level of the True God Realm and the peak of the True God Realm. Their elite members can reach the 1st level of the God King Realm. For every 1,000 gold-devouring beasts, a captain will be born, and the captain's strength is around the 2nd to 3rd level of the God King Realm. If the gold-devouring beasts reach 10,000, a Beast King will be born, with strength around the 4th level of the God King Realm. Lin Mo estimated that Fortress Number 6 also belonged to the area where true God Realm cultivators are active. Even if there are God King Realm cultivators here, there won't be many, and their strength is generally at the first level of the God King. With such strength, there is almost no chance of survival if they encounter a swarm of gold-devouring beasts. Lin Mo pondered for a moment, then said, "Please continue." Ke Yuanjin nodded slightly. Area 6 to 99 is special. Although it is also a circular area, it has entrances and exits. At this moment, a sphere appeared before Lin Mo's eyes. This sphere had hundreds of sharp protrusions, making it look like a hedgehog curled up. The Human Emperor Network presented the appearance of Area 6 to 99. Ke Yuanjin said, "These spikes are the passages for entering and exiting Area 99. These passages open and close intermittently, and can only be used when they are open. These passages do not have fixed locations, and they constantly change positions along the boundary of the area. Sometimes, even if a passage appears, it may not be passable. Furthermore, the passages have level restrictions. As long as the cultivation level exceeds the third level of the God King, it will cause the passage to collapse and fall into endless void." Then 6 passages lit up, 2 of which were golden, and the other 4 were scarlet. Ke Yuanjin continued, "These 2 golden passages are the ones we often use. After years of exploration, we have found that some of these passages are relatively stable. The other 4 red passages are the ones that alien races often use. Now that the gold-devouring beast swarm has appeared, they are guarding these 2 passages and launching a hunt for the people in the area." Ke Yuanjin said a lot, but it wasn't enough. Lin Mo still had many questions in his mind. The number of gold-devouring beasts is not large, and the area is so large, how do they carry out the hunt? Ke Yuanjin said, "Gold-devouring beasts belong to the gold-based star behemoths. They can resonate with the refined gold in that star space. Through resonance, they can find the creatures hidden within. Of course, they are not only hunting our human race, but other races are also their targets." Lin Mo continued to ask, "What is the reaction of other races?" Ke Yuanjin was not impatient, and he truthfully told Lin Mo the current situation. "Now other races have sent corresponding teams, so this time you will not only face the gold-devouring beasts, but also the teams of enemy races." "As expected, then how am I supposed to find people? In the vast starry sky, you can't expect me to find them with my eyes." Lin Mo smiled, as if he had already guessed part of what Ke Yuanjin said. This was also the case. Lin Mo had already analyzed a lot of information from the previous words. Gold-devouring beasts are star behemoths, and they won't only target the human race. It can be said that all creatures except themselves are their hunting targets. Ke Yuanjin said, "Go find Meng Gang later, and he will tell you how to find people." "Okay, I still have questions. Speak, am I only responsible for rescuing people? Can I kill gold-devouring beasts? Also, such a big thing, shouldn't there be more than one team going? Or rather, have teams already gone, but the results were not ideal? Why isn't the army moving?" Ke Yuanjin raised his eyebrows slightly, with a glint in his eyes. "It's good that you can think of these things. Kill as many gold-devouring beasts as you can. Ask Meng Gang for the other specific information, he will tell you." After leaving the Human Emperor Network, Lin Mo did not go to Meng Gang. According to his analysis, the gold-devouring beast incident did not just happen, so there was no need to rush. He waited for a while, until a mission station became available, and then he started operating on the mission station. Among the missions he had selected earlier, there was one in Area 6 to 99. Area 6 to 99 is used to collect refined gold, which is a special metal containing the gold-based law. It is an excellent material for forging weapons and armors. In the center of this area, there are stars completely composed of refined gold, and at the core of the stars, there is refined gold essence. Chapter 1192. Keep your opinions to yourselves. Refined gold and refined gold essence have completely different functions and grades. Refined gold is an excellent material that can be used for refining weapons and manufacturing puppets. Judging from the words, refined gold essence should also be a top-quality material. But in fact, it is not. Refined gold essence is a natural elixir, and its function is to condense the soul. If a cultivator in the true God realm wants to materialize their soul, in addition to their own insights, they also need some extra items to assist them, so that the effect will be better. The soul manifestation is very fragile in the early stage. Although it is powerful, it is too fragile and easily damaged. It will not be until the 9th level of True God that the soul manifestation becomes perfect, all kinds of defects are made up for, and it becomes powerful. At that time, with the law as armor and weapon, the soul manifestation can show relatively powerful combat power. A 9th level True God with the ability to manifest their soul can kill a True God in the same realm without the ability to manifest their soul with just a flick of their finger. Although the soul manifestation becomes powerful and can be called perfect, it is only called that. The soul's defensive power is still not strong enough, and it is still easily damaged if it encounters powerful enemies. This is mainly reflected in the fact that the armor made of laws is not strong enough, the soul clothing of the True God realm is not strong enough, and the soul itself is not strong enough. Refined gold essence can change this very well. The soul refining refined gold essence can strengthen the soul and make the essence of the soul stronger. It is equivalent to adding another layer of defense to the soul under the armor of law and soul clothing. Someone once estimated that if enough refined gold essence can be obtained, the soul defense of the True God realm can be more than 100 times stronger. Even without the protection of laws and soul clothing, even 5th level and 6th level God Kings cannot harm the soul. At that time, you can use the soul manifestation without any scruples. At the same time, it can also lay a solid foundation for the soul law domain of the God King realm. Although Lin Mo has the talent of soul regeneration, the stronger the soul, the better. This talent is used to save lives, not to risk them. Even if his soul is already very strong now, strong enough to use soul manifestation, not much worse than those at the peak of True God. But he still wants to further strengthen his soul. At that time, he took a fancy to this mission, and he happened to take it together this time. Battlefield mission. Collect refined gold in Area 6 to 99. In the 99th area of AA, the 6th war zone, collect enough refined gold and bring it back. Restrictions. None. Completion conditions. Bring back at least 1,000 kilograms of refined gold, reward 3,000 points, 10 military merits. Precautions. There are a large number of hostile races active in the refined gold mining area, please pay attention to safety. In the center of the area, there are many stars completely composed of refined gold, and soul materials refined gold essence will be produced inside. It is extremely dangerous here, please do not approach if you are not strong enough. The reward for this mission is less than collecting stellar essence fire, which shows that the mission is not very dangerous. As long as you don't go to the center to die, and don't encounter attacks from hostile races, there will be no danger. After Lin Mo took the mission, he left the mission center and went to the military merit office. It is estimated that Meng Gang will be a member of this mission, I wonder who else is there. Lin Mo guessed in his heart that Ke Yuanjin told him that if there is anything he doesn't understand, he can ask Meng Gang. This is enough to show that Meng Gang will perform the mission with him this time. He is the captain, and Meng Gang is the member. Lin Mo can also guess some reasons why Meng Gang was chosen. It is estimated that Meng Gang has been to Area 6 to 99 and is relatively familiar with it. At the same time, he is also a veteran and can provide some suggestions for himself. It's just that making a warrant officer his subordinate, I'm afraid Meng Gang will have some opinions in his heart. Thinking of this, Lin Mo raised the corners of his mouth slightly, so what if there are opinions, keep them to yourself. In the army, soldiers take obeying orders as their duty, and military orders are like mountains, not just for fun. The small world is like this, and the big world is even more so, where is there any room for you to discuss? In front of the military merit office, Meng Gang was seen standing outside. There were 2 other people with Meng Gang. Lin Mo had seen these 2 people, and they were both Meng Gang's subordinates. Warrant Officer Meng, we meet again. Lin Mo greeted Meng Gang with a smile on his face. Seeing Lin Mo, the corners of Meng Gang's mouth couldn't help twitching. He didn't know why he was arranged to do this mission this time, the order was directly issued by the Legion commander, and he had no right to object, or even the right to ask why. All he could do was obey. He took out a circular array plate and handed it to Lin Mo Yu. This is the array plate for locating people for this mission. It can sense battlefield tokens within 10 million kilometers. Every human cultivator on the battlefield carries a battlefield token. This is the best marker. As long as you find the battlefield token, you can find the person. Lin Mo Yu took the array plate, played with it for a while, glanced at Meng Gang, and landed on the other 2, introduce yourselves. There was a slight displeasure in their eyes, and the young man with the square face snorted, Wang Zhenghao, a 7th Order warrior, True God 9th Order, specializes in the law of explosion. The other person lowered his voice. Rong Jia, a 7th Order warrior, true god 9th Order, specializes in the law of starlight. Lin Moyu nodded slightly and looked at Meng Gang. Sergeant Meng, it's your turn. Meng Gang nodded, his tone calm. Meng Gang, a 1st Order sergeant, God King 2nd Order, specializes in the law of sharp gold. Lin Moyu hummed, not bad. Sergeant Meng, do you know who the other person is? He had 4 teammates, 3 of whom had arrived, and 1 who hadn't. Meng Gang shook his head. I just received the mission and didn't know who the other person was. At this moment, a beautiful figure ran over quickly. She was like a beautiful butterfly, dancing in the wind, taking brisk steps, and in the blink of an eye, she was in front of her. A moon-white robe, slightly tight, highlighting her proud figure. Coupled with her moving appearance, she is indeed a rare beauty. Yu Ju's arrival immediately attracted the attention of several people. Especially Wang Zhengting and Rong Jia, their eyes were deeply attracted by Yu Zu and could hardly move away. Lin Moyu was slightly stunned. Why are you here? Yu Zu smiled. I'm here to do a military rank promotion mission. Lin Moyu was slightly stunned, and after confirming that Yu Zu was not joking, he chuckled. What a coincidence. Yu Zu smiled. What? You're not welcome. No, introduce yourself. Lin Moyu's tone was as calm as ever, and did not change because of Yu Zu. Yu Zu nodded. Yu Zu, a 9th Order warrior, true god 9th Order, specializes in the law of jade plants. Law of jade plants. Lin Moyu was slightly surprised. The law of jade plants is very rare. Legend has it that there is a jade-like giant tree in the great world, called the jade tree. The jade tree is several light years high and extremely huge. On it, there are various stars, forming a galaxy star sea. At the same time, a special law was born on it, called the Law of Jade Plants. Using the Law of Jade Plants, you can summon the phantom of the jade tree, agitating the power of the stars, which is quite powerful. After Yu Zu finished speaking, she showed a look that I was very powerful. Unfortunately, Lin Moyu didn't show any expression, let alone praise her. After the self-introduction, Lin Moyu turned and walked towards the military merit office. Come here. Wait for me, Yu Zu exclaimed softly and quickly followed. Meng Gang and the 3 looked at each other. Wang Zhenghao and Rong Jia were obviously a little unconvinced. But Meng Gang said in a low voice, from now until the end of this mission, Lin Moyu is the captain. If there is anything unpleasant, hold it back. Chapter 1193. The first 9 squads are in danger. Zheng Wanghao and Rong Jia were Meng Gang's subordinates, and Meng Gang's words were more useful than Lin Moyu's. The 2 suppressed their inner dissatisfaction and depression, we know. Meng Gang hummed and followed Lin Moyu into the military merit office. Yu Zu quickly caught up with Lin Moyu. Aren't we going to do a mission? What are we doing back at the military merit office? Lin Moyu said, buy something. Yu Zu asked, are you going to buy Zhenjin pills, right? Yes, Lin Moyu nodded, already at the counter for purchasing items. To do a good job, one must first sharpen one's tools. Before the mission, you must first do your preparatory work. Every area in the battlefield has its dangers. Some dangers come from hostile races, and some dangers come from the battlefield itself. Like the dark star and the flashing starfire in Area 5 to 38, they are very dangerous. The stellar essence fire itself is not safe, and cultivators are often burned to death. The Shuo gold in Area 6 to 99 seems to be not very dangerous, but it is actually not safe. Shuo gold has a symbiotic ore, which is useless, but contains a peculiar toxin. This toxin is like invisible light, covering the entire starry sky. As long as you are in it, even if you don't breathe, the toxin can invade your body, and even magic weapons cannot stop it. The toxin is not strong, but it can accumulate continuously. When it accumulates to a certain level, the toxicity erupts, which can affect cultivation, cause serious damage, and even damage the foundation. After a long period of research, the military's alchemists have developed a pill called Zhenjin pill. Zhenjin pill can resist toxins, and 1 Zhenjin pill is effective for 10 days. Lin Moyu is not afraid of this toxin. If there is no law influence, pure toxins will not cause any harm to him. But for Meng Gang and others, it's hard to say. Meng Gang has been to Area 6 to 99 and has been in contact with Shuo gold. He must know that he needs to prepare Zhenjin pills. Including Wang Zhenghao and Rong Jia, they must also know, not to mention Yu Zu. In some common sense, they must surpass themselves. They must have prepared Zhenjin pills. But their preparation is their business. Since he is the captain of this mission, Lin Moyu has his own ideas. Meng Gang came to Lin Moyu at this time. Team. Captain, are you going to buy Zhenjin pills? Lin Moyu hummed, buy some, just in case. Meng Gang said, the army has already prepared Zhenjin pills for us. You only need to buy your own share. While speaking, he looked at Yu Zhu, and Yu Zhu immediately said, I have also prepared Zhenjin pills. Lin Moyu seemed not to hear what they said. He had already found Zhenjin pill in the item list. Zhenjin pill is the most common item, and any warrior can buy it with military merit. The price is not high, 10 military merits per pill, and each pill lasts for 10 days. Lin Moyu didn't know how long it would take, so he bought 100 pills in total, spending 1,000 military merits. The military merits were deducted, and soon someone delivered the Zhenjin pills to Lin Moyu. I don't know how many Zhenjin pills the military has given you, but this is my military rank promotion mission. I am the captain, so the Zhenjin pills should be prepared by me. Here are 100 Zhenjin pills, and the array plate for locating people will be handed over to Meng Gang for safekeeping. Lin Moyu handed the jade bottle containing the Zhenjin pills and the array plate for locating people to Meng Gang, and then whispered, let's go. The few people looked at each other, and Meng Gang saw a different taste in the eyes of Wang Junghao and Rong Lai. Lin Moyu's sentence, I am the captain, and the Zhenjin pills should be prepared by me, had some touch on them. Yu Ju's eyes flashed, but she didn't say anything and followed silently. Fortress 6, the teleportation array lit up. Lin Moyu and his party of 5 appeared in the teleportation array. After a pause of 1 second, the teleportation array flashed again and sent them to the outpost base in Area 99. Coming out of the 99th outpost base, several people immediately felt the oppressive, dull atmosphere. An army was neatly stationed in the outpost base, forming square formations in the starry sky. The square formations in the starry sky are not the square formations on the ground, but cubic formations. Each square formation is composed of 10,000 soldiers. As far as the eye can see, there are 10 identical square formations. Each square formation exudes an amazing aura. The aura of the soldiers is condensed into one. Although the cultivation of the soldiers is only true God, even the God King must bow down in front of them. Above the phalanx, tens of thousands of kilometers away, were battleships. The entire army was poised, ready to strike at any moment. The appearance of the army seemed to indicate that the situation here was not optimistic. Meng Gang and his companions looked at the military's array with respect. Rong Jia involuntarily said, a war is about to start. Lin Moyu shook his head, there won't be a war. Rong Jia was slightly stunned, disbelieving, how do you know? Lin Moyu chuckled and didn't explain. Instead, he flew towards Area 99. The 4 quickly followed. Rong Jia chased after him, asking, how do you know there won't be a war? Lin Moyu still didn't answer. Rong Jia was about to ask again, but Meng Gang softly shouted, shut up. Rong Jia trembled and obediently closed his mouth, no longer speaking. He was Meng Gang's subordinate, and Meng Gang's words carried great weight. After flying out 1,000,000 kilometers, the starry sky became quiet, and the outpost base was just a small dot in sight. At this time, Lin Moyu stopped and said to Meng Gang, you explain why there won't be a war, and also explain the details of the mission. Meng Gang nodded. In this area 6 to 99, a swarm of gold-devouring beasts suddenly appeared, causing considerable damage to the various races in the area. The number of gold-devouring beasts is unknown, but it is certain that there are many, and they have guarded the common passages, making it difficult for the cultivators inside to escape. After receiving the news, our army dispatched immediately. However, other races also dispatched their armies, and a standoff occurred among multiple parties. After negotiation, it was decided that each would send teams to rescue, with each team not exceeding 5 people, and each race not exceeding 10 teams. The first 9 teams entered, but the effect was not ideal. We are the 10th team from the human race. After he finished speaking, Rong Jia finally couldn't help but ask, why don't the armies of each race enter? As long as the armies enter, it shouldn't be difficult to slaughter the gold-devouring beasts, right? His words drew a glare from Yu Zhu, her eyes looking at him as if he were an idiot. Let the armies enter to slaughter the gold-devouring beasts, and also kill the cultivators of the hostile races, right? Yu Zhu's words immediately left Rong Jia speechless. Yes, if the armies entered, while slaughtering the gold-devouring beasts and rescuing their own race's cultivators, they would inevitably slaughter the enemy race's cultivators. Faced with the army's butcher knife, how many cultivators could resist? Therefore, the armies of each race were deadlocked. How could they allow the armies of other races to enter? Sending small teams in for rescue was also the result of negotiations among the races. Wang Zhenghao asked, didn't the previous teams that went in bring back some useful information? Meng Gang shook his head, no, Area 99 is affected by toxins, and it is difficult to transmit information from inside. Wang Zhenghao's voice sank, it seems this mission is very dangerous. Rong Jia's face was also not good-looking. He had already realized the danger of the mission. Only Yu Zhu still had a smile in her eyes, her bright eyes comparable to stars, not worried at all. Chapter 1194. Disobey orders, I will kill you. This mission was very dangerous, something Meng Gang had thought of from the start. But after analysis, the level of danger was still beyond his imagination. His gaze fell on Lin Mo Yu. He didn't understand why a sergeant's promotion mission would be so difficult. What angles did the Human Emperor Network in the military consider when arranging such a dangerous mission? In his opinion, given the restrictions in Areas 6 to 99, a team of God Kings at the second rank, strong enough to challenge beyond their level, should be sent in. There were so many geniuses in the army, it wouldn't be a problem to gather not just one such team, but even several. Or perhaps, Meng Gang suddenly had an even worse premonition. Perhaps the military had already dispatched teams composed of second-rank God King geniuses, but still had no results. If that was the case, the level of danger of this mission would be terrifyingly high. Then what was the point of them going in? To deliver food to the gold-devouring beasts. Meng Gang was very clear about his own combat power. A second-rank God King was just an ordinary second-rank God King. Wang Zhenghao and Rong Jia were his subordinates, and he knew how much combat power they had. Yu Zhu was also at the 9th rank of True God. No matter how strong she was, she wouldn't be that strong. Then the only variable was Lin Mo Yu. Meng Gang's gaze towards Lin Mo Yu was slightly complicated. Lin Mo Yu, who had been pondering with his eyes closed, slowly opened his eyes at this moment. A sharp light flashed in his eyes, sweeping across the starry sky like a sharp sword, intersecting with Meng Gang's gaze. Meng Gang only felt a slight pain in his eyes, as if they had been cut by a blade. Lin Mo Yu said solemnly, Meng Gang was being euphemistic. According to my analysis, the previous 9 teams went in without sending back any information, and didn't rescue anyone. They might even be trapped themselves, their lives unknown. The armies of each race are currently in a stalemate, and it is estimated that it will continue for a long time. At least until they get specific news, the races won't start a war. Our primary mission here is to rescue people, and secondly, to kill gold-devouring beasts and the enemy race's cultivators. Lin Mo Yu's words stunned a few people. Rescuing people alone was already difficult, killing gold-devouring beasts and killing the enemy race felt even harder. Meng Gang seemed to have something to say, but before he could say it, Lin Mo Yu swept a glance over him, blocking his words. Lin Mo Yu's aura changed. The previous gentleness disappeared, replaced by a kind of majesty. The majesty on Lin Mo Yu's body was heavy, making it difficult for a few people to breathe. Wang Zhenghao and Rong Jia's faces were slightly pale, their chests rising and falling several times. They felt like they were facing a high-ranking general, that unique temperament belonging to a general was so obvious. 3 words rose in their hearts at the same time, impossible. Meng Gang also felt unbelievable. He had just had the illusion of facing the Legion commander. The Legion commander in the fortress was a strong person above the 6th rank of True God, and also a general in the military. Lin Mo Yu was clearly only at the 5th rank of True God, clearly only a 9th rank warrior, carrying out a promotion mission. Meng Gang found it unbelievable and couldn't understand it. Yu Zhu didn't have as strong a feeling as them, but felt that Lin Mo Yu had suddenly become extremely strong, completely different from before. Lin Mo Yu's voice was low, I don't care how you looked at me before, whether you have conflicts with me, none of that matters. In this mission, I am the captain, I am your superior, and my orders must be obeyed unconditionally. In the army's regulations, there is no such word as regret. If you choose to retreat now, I will kill you and continue the mission with your corpses. If you disobey my orders during the mission, I will also kill you. Any questions? Lin Mo Yu's words also carried great majesty, like a huge hammer falling on a few people, stunning them. Yu Zhu said in a low voice, I'm not a soldier. Lin Mo Yu glanced at her. Since you joined my team, you are a soldier until the mission is completed. Yu Zhu snorted softly, seeming a little dissatisfied, but said, okay then, I understand. Seeing that she was not as strong as the others, Yu Zhu cleverly chose to obey and not stick her neck out. Lin Mo Yu's gaze swept over Meng Gang and the others. Meng Gang and the others reacted with a jolt. Meng Gang said in a low voice, understood, as soldiers, we can only follow orders. ABCJ. Wang Zhenghao and Rong Jia said in unison, follow orders. Lin Mo Yu nodded, very good, let's set off now. Saying that, he took out the Battle King Tower, come in. There were still nearly 1 billion kilometers to Area 99. To save time, Lin Mo Yu decided to use the Battle King Tower to travel. This God King Realm flying device could be used for travel and also for battle. Its combat power was not weak, at least not weaker than an ordinary third-rank God King. If it was fully utilized, it could kill God Kings like Meng Gang. It's just that Lin Mo Yu's current realm was not enough to unleash its power. The Battle King Tower turned into a stream of light, carrying the 4 of them through the starry sky. Meng Gang's eyes flickered. He recognized that the Battle King Tower was a flying artifact of the God King realm and possessed considerable combat power. He even felt a threat from the Battle King Tower, indicating that its combat power was no weaker than his. His eyes showed a hint of envy. There were many flying artifacts in the God King realm, which could be obtained with military merits or points. But a flying artifact was just a flying artifact. A flying artifact with combat power was different. It was like the difference between a spacecraft and a warship. Spacecraft were cheap, but warships were extremely expensive. In any case, he couldn't afford a Battle King Tower with his wealth. Lin Mo Yu noticed his expression. This was a reward from one of my missions. Meng Gang almost blurted out, what mission? The reward is so good. However, as soon as he said it, he knew he shouldn't have asked, and a trace of embarrassment appeared on his face. Lin Mo Yu said, that mission was a bit special. Lin Mo Yu had already given him a way out, and Meng Gang immediately took it. After spending half a day together, Meng Gang realized that Lin Mo Yu was not difficult to get along with. When nothing was happening, he spoke quite gently and could even crack a joke occasionally. Thinking back to the previous events, it seemed that the misunderstanding was caused by him. The Battle King Tower was extremely fast, reaching 100,000 kilometers per second. Several hours later, it finally approached Area 99 and saw the human army. In addition to the human army in the outpost base, there was also a human army arrayed and waiting here. Apart from the human homeland, the aura of the alien race could be felt from tens of millions of kilometers away. It was an equally immense aura, like a sharp blade, aimed at this place, monitoring every move of the human army. Lin Mo Yu knew that in the dark depths of space, the alien army was also on high alert. The situation here was extremely complex, with multiple parties in confrontation. A person flew out from the army, heading towards Lin Mo Yu. According to regulations, Lin Mo Yu handed over the battlefield token, and after verifying his identity, the army allowed them to pass. After passing through the army, Lin Mo Yu met the leader of this army. An old acquaintance, Elder Wang Xing from Fortress 6. Wang Xing was not only an elder in Fortress 6, with a cultivation base of the 4th level of the God Venerate realm, but also a colonel, a 6th level colonel. He had come here after returning from the manor. When Wang Xing saw Lin Mo Yu, his face immediately lit up with surprise. Little friend Lin, I didn't expect you to be leading the team. Chapter 1195, Chaotic Balance. Elder Wang Xing was in full military uniform, his aura heavy and stern. The aura of a superior came over him, whether it was his military rank, position, or his own cultivation, it suppressed everyone from looking directly at him. When Meng Gang and the others saw Wang Xing, they all lowered their heads slightly to show respect. Even Yu Zhu, who had an extraordinary background, put away her smile at this moment, became dignified, and added a bit of maturity. Lin Mo Yu smiled casually, Elder Wang, why are you here? Wang Xing laughed loudly, I was ordered to come and sit here. Although my strength is mediocre, I am still a God Venerate. Elder Wang, you're joking. Lin Mo Yu knew that Wang Xing was just being modest. In the manor, due to restrictions, Wang Xing's strength couldn't even be displayed to 1/10,000th of its full potential. But in the outside world, 1,000 Lin Mo Yus combined couldn't defeat Wang Xing. Millions and millions of undead legions would also find it difficult to cause effective damage to Wang Xing. At most, it would only delay him for a while, enough time for himself to escape, and whether he could escape was another matter. Lin Moyu chatted cordially with Wang Xing. Wang Xing had a stern and dignified aura, and Lin Moyu was not bad either. The two were evenly matched. Meng Gang and the others were as obedient as chicks following behind, not daring to make a sound. Only then did they truly recognize Lin Moyu, and discovered that the Lin Moyu they knew before was just the tip of the iceberg. Meng Gang felt that he was fortunate to have put aside his prejudices and decided to build a good relationship with Lin Moyu. If he continued to oppose Lin Moyu, he would probably be courting death. How could he provoke someone who could communicate with a god venerate on equal footing? Meng Gang felt that he should have thought of it earlier. There were so many geniuses in the human race, and countless geniuses came to the Vermilion Bird battlefield every year, and there were many who made contributions to the human race. But who could get the title of glory? In the Vermilion Bird battlefield, Lin Moyu was the only one in nearly 100 years. How could he provoke such a person? Through the conversation with Wang Xing, Lin Moyu was able to understand the current situation. The gold-devouring beast incident happened half a month ago, and Elder Wang Xing had just arrived a few days ago. He was ordered to come and support the area. There were a total of 4 elders in Fortress 6, and Li Yuanbai was still guarding outside the manor. The other 3 elders had all arrived here. The army belonging to Fortress 6 was ready to go. It was not necessarily going to fight, but if it really started, they would not be caught off guard. Currently, multiple armies were in confrontation, reaching as many as 5 races. In addition to the old enemy, the demon race, there were also the golden eagle race, the winged race, and the flying snake race. Coincidentally, these 4 races were all enemies of the human race. Then the demon race and the golden eagle race were also at odds with each other, and the golden eagle race and the flying snake race also had grudges. The winged race also had some conflicts with the flying snake race. So they restrained each other, and no one acted, reaching a strange balance. According to Wang Xing, they had received news that the bull demon race's army was also coming. The bull demon race was not a hostile race to the human race, but their relationship was average, and they had some conflicts with the demon race. Their arrival, I wonder if it will break the balance. Lin Moyu didn't need to worry about these things. What he had to do now was to go in and save people. Then, if he saw an enemy race, he would destroy it. The same goes for the gold-devouring beast. Go to the center of the area to see if he could get the gold-melting essence. Wang Xing took Lin Moyu to a place, about 100,000 kilometers ahead, which was not completely dark, but showed a light blue halo, which looked a bit charming. The halo was constantly changing in the starry sky, and there seemed to be bubbles rolling on it, as if something was about to rush out of the halo. The area surrounded by this halo was Area 6 to 99. Wang Xing pointed to the constantly changing bubbles. This is the area where our human race often enters and exits. Passages will appear every once in a while. According to estimates, a passage should form in about an hour. After you go in, remember the location, and it's best to return the same way. Lin Moyu nodded. Is there any news from the team that went in before? Wang Xing shook his head. No. Lin Moyu nodded slightly. I'll go take a look. As long as they're not dead, I'll bring them back. Then I wish you success, little friend Lin. Wang Xing smiled. He didn't worry about Lin Moyu at all. He seemed full of confidence in Lin Moyu. After returning from the manor, he had learned about some of Lin Moyu's affairs. With his authority, he knew more than the average person, and knew how strong Lin Moyu was. Just the physical body of a true god peak was enough to make most god venerates ashamed. Lin Moyu said to Meng Gang and the other 3, the passage will appear in about an hour. Now take the gold quake pill, Meng Gang, you are responsible for this. Meng Gang was shocked and responded loudly, yes, sir. He immediately took out the gold quake pill and distributed it to everyone. When he was about to give the gold quake pill to Lin Moyu refused. No need to give it to me. If I need it, I will ask you for it. 0A ask for fresh flowers sa a. Meng Gang was puzzled, but he didn't ask. He remembered what Lin Moyu had said before, that his words were orders and he only needed to obey. Time passed bit by bit, and the moods of Meng Gang and the other 3 became tense. Previously, 9 teams had entered, and all of them had disappeared without a trace. Whether they could come out alive this time was really hard to say. An hour later, a bubble suddenly bulged violently on the blue halo in front of them, as if something was poking outwards from the inside. The bubble rose sharply like a mountain peak, becoming sharp. Meng Gang, who had been here before, thought to himself, the passage is about to appear. His whole body tensed up, becoming even more nervous. Lin Moyu's voice slowly sounded, after entering, Meng Gang will be responsible for protection, and at the same time activate the search array disc. If there are gold-devouring beasts or enemies, you don't need to worry about them, I will handle it. ... His words were decisive and left no room for refusal. Meng Gang's heart trembled, and he immediately responded, I understand. Lin Moyu hummed and began to watch the bubble. After the bubble rose and fell hundreds of times in succession, it had become hundreds of miles high, and then it exploded in the starry sky with a bang. Pale blue light burst out from the halo, as if the halo had a hole in it. The passage was formed at this moment. Go! Lin Moyu shouted softly, and rushed into the passage first. Meng Gang and the other three immediately followed behind, sticking close to him. The blue color in the passage became more and more intense, gradually turning towards deep blue. Lin Moyu's expression suddenly changed, and he shouted, be careful. Meng Gang reacted immediately, and his whole body burst out with a strong law, dazzling and dazzling. The law domain unfolded in an instant, and golden light enveloped the four of them. Countless golden law swords rose up in the light, forming a sword formation, using swords as armor to cover the four of them. Just after he unfolded the law domain, the attack came. Countless blue light pillars bombarded his law domain, causing the domain to rumble. The law swords in the domain exploded on the spot, and the law domain quickly shrank. Meng Gang's expression changed, and he reminded loudly, Captain, be careful, it's a God King realm attack. At this time, he saw an attack falling on Lin Moyu, and a layer of skeletal armor appeared outside Lin Moyu's body. The skeletal armor shattered in the attack, and the powerful attack hit Lin Moyu like a hot knife through butter. Meng Gang's expression changed drastically. Yu Zhu, Wang Zhenghao, and Rong Jia also had drastic changes in their expressions, their faces bloodless. Chapter 1196. There is only one way to go. In their eyes, Lin Moyu, no matter how strong he was only a true god fifth order. Perhaps his attack power was very strong, but attack was not equal to defense. Facing the attack of the God King realm, his defense collapsed in an instant, and the attack of the God King realm fell on him. But the next second, everyone was stunned. Lin Moyu's face remained unchanged, and he calmly accepted all the attacks. White light flashed on his body, and the skeletal armor continued to appear and collapse. Along with it, somewhere in the blue light, white light continued to explode, as if someone was attacking there. The white light illuminated the blue, and everyone saw gold-devouring beasts with blue bodies. Meng Gang, as a god king, had lived the longest among the people and had the most experience. He recognized what Lin Moyu had done, and murmured, multi-star spell. Only the spell linkage brought about by the multi-star spell can find the enemies hidden in the dark in this passive way. 133. The gold-devouring beasts are all blue in color, hidden in the blue light, their aura is not obvious, and it is extremely difficult to find them. But Lin Moyu used this method to find them by force. Killing intent rose in Lin Moyu's eyes, it seems that everyone who comes in is being ambushed. In a soft sigh, the light around him jumped non-stop. Hundreds of skeleton god generals emerged in response, and rushed towards the gold-devouring beasts at high speed. As Lin Moyu's cultivation level continued to improve, the combat power of the skeletons also increased rapidly accordingly. The weakest three types of skeletons can be comparable to the true god 8th order. And the skeleton god generals formed by their fusion have a combat power of god king 2nd order. The skeleton god generals pounced on them, holding sharp bone swords, carrying the law of immortality, and with a wave of their hands, they swung out amazing sword energy. The huge sword energy swept through the starry sky, almost shattering the passage. There were only 10 gold-devouring beasts ambushing Lin Moyu, all of them were God King First Order gold-devouring beasts. Facing the skeleton god generals with God King Second Order combat power, they were not opponents in the first place. Plus, the number differed by a factor of 10. Almost in an instant, these 10 gold-devouring beasts were killed by the skeleton god generals. After the gold-devouring beasts died, their bodies quickly curled up, and finally turned into a piece of blue metal the size of a fist. Lin Moyu took a piece of blue metal in his hand and used the detection technique. Gold melting. Excellent material for refining weapons. Using the detection technique outside the range covered by the Human Emperor network, the detailed level of the information obtained will be discounted, but it is enough for Lin Moyu. Gold-devouring beasts feed on gold melting, and after they die, their corpses will turn into a high-quality piece of gold melting. Sometimes the gold melting collected is not pure enough and contains impurities, and further purification and refining are required. Often, 100 pounds of gold melting are collected, and only 10 pounds can be refined in the end. The gold melting condensed after the death of the gold-devouring beast does not need to be purified and refined again, and the quality is very high. Lin Moyu took it in his hand and weighed it. The gold melting was not heavy. A piece of this size was only about 5 pounds. From the perspective of quality density alone, it is not even as good as iron. But the laws contained within it make its value far exceed steel. Meng Gang and the others were completely shocked by the scene just now. They never thought that Lin Moyu would kill 10 God King realm gold-devouring beasts so easily. Being able to reach the God King First Order is already an elite member of the gold-devouring beasts. Moreover, the gold-devouring beasts feed on gold melting all year round, and their defense power is very amazing. It is very difficult for cultivators in the same realm to kill them. Generally, they have to rely on powerful magic weapons to do it. Meng Gang knew that even if he wanted to kill a God King First Order gold-devouring beast, it would take some effort. But the skeletons summoned by Lin Moyu just now easily killed the gold-devouring beasts. This shows that the combat power of these skeletons is very amazing, and I am afraid they are stronger than himself. Could this be a puppet? Where did such a powerful puppet come from, and there are so many of them? Meng Gang thought to himself, unable to judge. The tension in Yu Ju's heart decreased a lot, and her beautiful eyes looked at Lin Moyu. In her eyes, Lin Moyu became more and more mysterious. Lin Moyu put away the gold melting and said slowly, Meng Gang, based on your understanding of the gold-devouring beasts, will they ambush? Meng Gang thought for a while, then shook his head, I'm not very clear, I haven't actually dealt with gold-devouring beasts. Lin Moyu was slightly disappointed. Without more information, he couldn't make a more accurate judgment. At this time, Yu Zhu suddenly raised her hand and said, Captain, I know. Lin Moyu said, oh, tell me. Yu Zhu once said that the Yu family she came from has a very deep cooperative relationship with the military. This shows that the Yu family should be a long-standing family. This kind of big family knows a lot of information. Yu Zhu said, gold-devouring beasts generally act in groups, with varying numbers, ranging from 1,000 to tens of thousands. Their mode of action is not fixed. Each time they act, they will look for a large amount of gold melting to devour zero. At the same time, all living beings discovered by them will be killed by them. However, I have never heard of gold-devouring beasts ambushing. I think what happened today is very strange. Lin Moyu nodded. Yu Ju's words gave his guess some possibility. Lin Moyu continued to ask, in the information you know, are there any special gold-devouring beasts? Yu Zhu thought for a moment, then shook her head, special gold-devouring beasts. There's no record of them in the data. Lin Moyu pondered for a few seconds, then lowered his voice solemnly, although it hasn't been confirmed yet, we have reason to suspect that some special changes have occurred within the gold-devouring beasts. The others looked at Lin Moyu, wanting to know what he meant. Lin Moyu continued, I suspect that there are intelligent gold-devouring beasts in the pack, and it's highly likely to be a gold-devouring beast king. That would explain why the gold-devouring beasts ambushed us. The teams that came in before must have also been ambushed, and caught off guard, which could easily cause casualties. Meng Gang's expression changed slightly. He wasn't afraid of beast packs without intelligence, no matter how strong, because their power was scattered. But once they gained intelligence, and their power was concentrated, they would become terrifying. If they were more intelligent, smarter, able to ambush, sneak attack, and think. Thinking of this, Meng Gang shuddered, realizing the seriousness of the situation, then should we report this? Lin Moyu shook his head, no. Meng Gang was slightly stunned, but didn't ask anything. Because he remembered what Lin Moyu had said, that Lin Moyu's words were orders, and must be obeyed unconditionally. Lin Moyu said, first, we have no evidence. Second, you can't go back. Can't go back. Meng Gang's expression changed slightly. He immediately sensed his surroundings, and his expression turned ugly. They were still in the passage, but for some reason, the passage had become one-way, allowing entry but not exit. Meng Gang murmured, "It's different from when I came before." Yu Zhu also sensed this, and her beautiful face turned ugly. "It's also different from what's recorded in the data. How did the passage become one-way?" Lin Moyu said, "Something special must have happened, and the reason why those teams haven't sent back any news is probably related to this. It seems we only have one path left." Chapter 1197. Whether I succeed or not doesn't matter. Lin Moyu said that there was only one path left. But everyone felt a sinking feeling in their hearts. They knew that Lin Moyu's subtext was that there was no turning back. Lin Moyu said in a low voice, "Things will work out when they need to, worrying won't solve the problem. Do as we said beforehand, Meng Gang protect them, leave the fighting to me." Meng Gang was, after all, a soldier, and a god king at that. He quickly calmed down, and the aura of a soldier emerged spontaneously. Since they couldn't retreat, they would bravely move forward. Lin Moyu paved the way in front, and the others continued to advance. From this moment on, several skeleton god generals appeared around Meng Gang and the others. 10 skeleton god generals protected them, serving as the first line of defense. And Meng Gang was the second line of defense. Lin Moyu also had several skeleton god generals clearing the way in front of him. He pondered this mission. In fact, Wang Zhenghao and Rong Jia didn't have much of a role to play here, but they had their reasons for coming. Their cultivation had already reached the 9th rank of true god, only one step away from God King. Perhaps one experience would be enough for them to complete their promotion. Their potential couldn't be compared to geniuses like Qian Huang, so the difficulty of promotion would be much lower. Moreover, they could gain a lot of military merits through this mission. It could be regarded as a way for the military to train soldiers. It wasn't necessary to be useful to come out and perform a mission. There were too many people in the military, so they inevitably used a wide net approach. In addition, there was another reason that Lin Moyu could think of. That was that the military wanted to see his ability. Adding 2 burdens that didn't have any effect actually increased the difficulty of the mission. The military would be relatively strict with the owners of the glory title, which was understandable. Lin Moyu could understand the above 2 reasons, so he didn't find it strange. It was just Yu Ju's joining that made him a little puzzled. This woman from the Yu family said that she was completing a promotion mission, but what was her real purpose? Lin Moyu didn't believe that her purpose was simple. But in any case, since the team had been formed, as long as she was obedient, he would continue to lead her on the mission. Lin Moyu looked thoughtful, and had roughly summarized the causes and consequences. In short, the military didn't think that he would definitely succeed in this mission, or rather, it was just an attempt. The 4 elders in Fortress Number 6, except for Li Yuanbai, the other 3 had already come here. In other words, there were already 3 god sovereigns sitting in this area of 6 to 99. And according to what Li Yuanbai said, an even stronger legion commander was already ready. This is a rhythm of fighting a war. And it's not a small-scale war, but a large-scale one. It's possible that not only Fortress Number 6 will take action. Letting me come to rescue people is both a test and to buy some time for the military to have more time to prepare. So whether my mission can succeed or not is not important, what's important is that I went in, and I went in under the surveillance of other races. Something must have happened in the area, what exactly is it? Lin Moyu felt that he had cleared his thoughts. From the moment he entered the outpost base, he felt that something was wrong. After arriving here, the feeling became even more obvious. If the human race really wanted to fight a war, it would inevitably be done in an instant, and it would be impossible to give advance notice. If it was a secret operation, it would take time, so the result of the confrontation and discussion between the races was to buy time. There must be a reason for doing so, and the reason was in the 6 to 99 area. At the same time, Lin Moyu also considered another possibility. The human race was doing this, were other races also doing this? Everyone was not stupid, what you could think of, others could also think of. Unconsciously, Lin Moyu felt a sense of urgency in his heart. It seems that I have to hurry up. No matter what the military's real intention was, the time left for him was running out. His mission was to rescue people. If his mission was not completed after the war started, his promotion mission would fail. At that time, military merits would be deducted, and he would not be able to perform the promotion mission again within 10 years. Moreover, once the war started, he might die inside. Lin Moyu glanced around. The gold melting ore shone with blue light, lighting up the starry sky, like a huge cage, enveloping them. Lin Moyu almost had the urge to find the exit and leave immediately. What's wrong? Yu Zhu noticed the change in Lin Moyu's aura. Lin Moyu shook his head. It's nothing, I'm just thinking about something. Yu Zhu said, oh, is it about the gold-devouring beasts? Lin Moyu asked, taking advantage of the situation, do you know much about the gold-devouring beast king? Gold-devouring beast king. Yu Zhu tilted her head, obviously starting to search her little brain for memories. Lin Moyu looked at her. This beautiful woman, her family's inheritance was extraordinary, and she knew a lot of information. But this time it was obvious that she didn't know what was happening here, and she followed rashly. In the thoughts just now, Lin Moyu had probably guessed that Yu Zhu was most likely here to observe him. After all, his performance was too special, and it was normal for the descendants of a large family to observe him. Although Lin Moyu came from a small world, whether it was a small world or a large world, the structure was similar, just the scale was larger or smaller. The small world was also a world, and there were also families in it. Lin Moyu was once in a high position, and he was very familiar with this set. Observe geniuses, befriend geniuses, or be able to absorb geniuses into the family. Marriage is a very good method. Lin Moyu realized that he was thinking too much and going astray. At this time, Yu Zhu also finished thinking. The records of the gold-devouring beast king are very few, only knowing that a pack of more than 10,000 gold-devouring beasts is likely to give birth to a beast king, and the strength of the gold-devouring beast king is around the 4th rank of God King. Lin Mo also knew this information, and he was a little disappointed, thinking to himself, if there were more gold-devouring beasts, like 50,000 or even 100,000. Would an even more powerful beast king be born, perhaps even a beast king with intelligence? The great world is vast, and anything is possible. It's not strange for anything to happen in a special battlefield. Good Zhao Zhao, the appearance of the gold-devouring beast swarm, for example, has always been an unsolved mystery. No one knows how they appear or where they come from. Anyway, every time they appear, they cause some deaths and injuries. After they appear, they eat a large amount of shining gold, kill the other creatures near the shining gold, and then disappear again. While they were pondering, the group completely flew out of the passage. The moment they left the passage and truly entered Area 6-99, the light blue light was enveloped by a more intense azure light. It was as if they were seeing a beautiful ocean, with blue light-like waves, surging in layers. This was a beautiful starry sky, very pretty. In the distant starry sky, there were twinkling blue lights. Each blue light was shining gold. The shining gold varied in size, and their light, through layers of spatial refraction and reflection, formed a dreamlike blue world. But they had no time to appreciate the beautiful scene, as attacks were already coming from all directions. Chapter 1198. Starting the search, dead or alive. The gold-devouring beast's attacks contained extremely strong impact force. The blue light beams also contained mottled light spots. Before, in the distorted space of the passage, they couldn't see clearly. Now they could see clearly that the blue was the color of shining gold, and the mottled light spots were the color of the shining gold's associated minerals. A color that was neither gold nor silver. The shining gold's associated mineral is called gold-silver stone, and it contains toxins that are constantly released. The gold-devouring beasts are not afraid of this toxin, they eat the gold-silver stone along with the shining gold. Subsequently, their attacks also contain this toxin, even more potent than the gold-silver stone itself. Before the appearance of the gold vibration pill, the gold-devouring beast's attacks were deadly. Even if one could block the attacks, the pervasive toxins gave cultivators a headache. After the appearance of the gold vibration pill, the threat of toxins almost disappeared, one only needed to deal with the gold-devouring beast's attacks. Meng Gang lightly shouted, and his law domain opened, enveloping Yu Zhu and the other two. Within the law domain, countless law swords appeared, forming a sword formation within the domain. His soul leapt out from the top of his head, holding a shield in its hand. The shield transformed into a stream of light, merging into the law domain, and instantly shields appeared within the law domain. The combination of swords and shields greatly enhanced the defense of law domain 943. Lin Mo immediately saw that the shield in Meng Gang's soul's hand came from the military. He was already a god king, and his soul manifestation had far surpassed the true god realm. His soul had begun to merge with the law domain. No longer simply using laws as armor, his soul could now fight within the law domain. If he didn't have to protect Yu Zhu and the other two, Meng Gang would probably have already charged in with his law domain. In the azure light, the gold-devouring beasts were faintly visible. They were everywhere, and their attacks were dense. The skeleton god generals protecting Meng Gang and the others acted simultaneously, ignoring the gold-devouring beasts' attacks and unleashing sword energies. The gold-devouring beasts could hide in the blue light, making it difficult to find them with the naked eye or soul. But in the skeleton god general's undead eyes, the gold-devouring beasts were too obvious to hide. Sword energies cut through the starry sky, and one gold-devouring beast after another was swallowed by the sword energies. Lin Mo's heart stirred, and more skeleton god generals appeared beside him. At the same time, the attacks that landed on him shattered the bone armor. The bone armor triggered spell linkages, constantly counter-attacking. The attacking gold-devouring beasts were not elite members or captains Abbey, their realms were between the 8th and 9th ranks of the True God realm. For Meng Gang, although the number was large, the pressure was much less than in the previous round. The law domain, with the double blessing of swords and shields, easily blocked the attacks. White light burst and flickered in the starry sky, and bone spears and bone fangs flashed in the starry sky. Those gold-devouring beasts that were only at the 8th rank were instantly killed by the counterattacks of the spell linkages. The 9th rank gold-devouring beasts were also severely injured on the spot. The bodies of the gold-devouring beasts would dissipate after death, turning into shining gold of extremely high purity. They had no blood, and once severely injured, they could recover by eating some shining gold. Similarly, eating the shining gold that their companions turned into after death could also restore them. Lin Mo clearly saw that some gold-devouring beasts ate the shining gold that their companions turned into after death and quickly recovered. Lin Mo released a total of 100 skeleton god generals. The skeleton god generals were incredibly fast, charging into the gold-devouring beast swarm and beating them without any chance to fight back. In the blink of an eye, more than 500 gold-devouring beasts had been killed. At this moment, the gold-devouring beasts suddenly seemed to receive an order and retreated like a tide. The gold-devouring beasts were very fast and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Meng Gang said in a low voice, "Gold-devouring beasts can resonate with shining gold and gold-silver stone. Here, they are very fast and difficult to chase." Lin Mo nodded. "As far as you know, do gold-devouring beasts have a habit of running away when they can't win?" Meng Gang thought for a moment and shook his head slightly. Yu Zhu also shook her head. According to the records in the family's data, encountering gold-devouring beasts usually results in two outcomes, either killing them or being killed by them. It's impossible to outrun them. The gold-devouring beasts are too fast. Either kill or be killed. This also shows that gold-devouring beasts do not run away. After all, they are giant beasts without intelligence and don't know fear, so how could they be afraid? Without fear, there is no possibility of running away. This scene further confirmed Lin Mo's previous guess that an intelligent member of the same species had really been born in the gold-devouring beast swarm. And it could command the entire gold-devouring beast swarm. It should be the gold-devouring beast king. Gold-devouring beasts have appeared for countless years, so how did intelligence arise now? Yu Zhu obviously thought of this too, and her brows couldn't help but furrow. If there was a commander, the combat power of the gold-devouring beasts would increase by several levels, and their danger would greatly increase. However, Lin Mo suddenly realized another possibility. Could it be that this intelligent gold-devouring beast has always existed? It's just that it didn't wake up before. After all, most of the people who encountered gold-devouring beasts in the past were killed. Those who occasionally escaped or counter-killed the gold-devouring beasts probably didn't notice this. This possibility was not impossible, but it was useless to think too much now. They could only continue to move forward. Lin Mo looked at Meng Gang. "Activate the person-finding array disc." Meng Gang nodded, took out the person-finding array disc, and activated it directly. The person-finding array disc immediately emitted a bright light. After a few seconds, several arrows appeared outside the array disc. The appearance of the arrows was familiar. The shells given by Yu Qingru also showed arrows like this when they discovered Shining Star and Blazing Fire. There were a total of 4 arrows, some long and some short. The person-finding array disc could discover battlefield tokens within thousands of kilometers. The battlefield tokens corresponded to the human cultivators. Meng Gang explained, "Long arrows indicate a greater distance." Lin Mo nodded, "Start looking for the closest one first." The group immediately flew towards the nearest location. As long as human cultivators are active in the battlefield area, they will wear battlefield tokens. Once they die, the battlefield token will become invalid at the same time and cannot be found by ordinary person finding array discs. So they don't have to worry about only finding the battlefield token and not finding the person. As long as the person finding array disc points in a direction, there must be a cultivator and one who is still alive. After flying 1,000,000 kilometers, they saw a dark shadow, rising and falling in the wave-like blue light. Found it. Joy appeared on Yuju's face. Lin Mo frowned slightly, he sensed the life force on the other person. It looked like he was already dead, but the seeking array disc pointed to him, indicating that he should be alive. Meng Gang also frowned, he seems to be dead. However, Meng Gang wasn't very sure in his words. Lin Mo switched to the undead perspective and finally saw that the other person seemed dead, but the soul still existed. As long as the soul is still there, it doesn't represent death. However, this soul was also in a state of slumber, and its aura was somewhat strange. Suddenly, Lin Mo lightly shouted, "Defense!" Meng Gang almost instinctively opened his law domain, and his soul leapt out at the same time. At this moment, a deep blue attack shot like a sharp arrow, easily piercing his law domain and directly stabbing his soul. It was as if the other party was waiting for Meng Gang's soul to appear. Meng Gang's face changed drastically, and it was too late to dodge. Chapter 1199. Gold-devouring beasts that can set traps. Trap. Meng Gang reacted immediately, but it was too late. His soul had just leapt out when the attack arrived, the timing was calculated very precisely. Upon reaching the God King realm, the manifested soul completely merges into the law domain. With the protection of the law domain, the soul's safety is no longer an issue. To attack the soul, one must first break the law domain. It is much more difficult than in the true God realm. But the reality of the soul's fragility has not changed in any way. Once the soul is damaged, it can result in serious injury, damaging the foundation. In severe cases, it can lead to direct demise. This attack was like a hot knife through butter, easily breaking through Meng Gang's law domain and heading straight for his soul. Needless to say, if it hit, Meng Gang's life would be in danger. The expression on Meng Gang's soul changed drastically, he felt like he was locked on, with no way to avoid it. The attack came too fast and too suddenly, Yuzu and the others didn't react at all. Their realms were not high enough, they really couldn't react. Just as Meng Gang was in despair, a white shadow appeared in front of his soul, between his soul and the attack. The skeleton god general held a shield, blocking the attack for Meng Gang. The skeleton god general kept retreating under the attack, but immediately afterward, more skeleton god generals rushed over, tightly protecting Meng Gang. Meng Gang had a feeling of escaping death. He looked at Lin Mo, and found that Lin Mo didn't look at him at all, but looked ahead. This attack was launched by the human cultivator who was suspected to be a corpse. Through the skeleton's undead perspective, Lin Mo saw a gold-devouring beast jumping out of the human cultivator's body. This gold-devouring beast was very small, only the size of a palm, and its body emitted a azure light. Soul, the soul of a gold-devouring beast. He recognized it at a glance. This guy was the soul of a gold-devouring beast. After it left the human cultivator's body, the human cultivator's aura completely disappeared. Even the arrow on the seeking array disc disappeared. He was dead, truly dead. After the gold-devouring beast's soul glanced at Meng Gang, its body gradually became illusory and disappeared. The starry sky was cold, and there was no stellar light to bring warmth here. The surrounding atmosphere fell into a strange inexplicable state. Yuzu swallowed her saliva. This is a trap, it's actually a trap. She now completely believed that Lin Mo's previous judgment was correct. The gold-devouring beast swarm had really developed intelligence, and their intelligence was not low. They would actually use corpses to set traps. Lin Mo had the skeleton god general go over to look at the corpse, and at the same time asked, "Do other races also have things like the seeking array disc?" Meng Gang was still a little shaken at this time. He had just escaped death, and he hadn't fully recovered. But after all, he was a soldier, and when he heard Lin Mo's words, he instinctively replied, "Yes, all races have similar methods." Lin Mo nodded. "Be careful next time." Meng Gang took a deep breath and saluted Lin Mo. "Thank you." If it hadn't been for Lin Mo just now, he would have died. Lin Mo shook his head. "You are my team member, it is right to save you." Meng Gang hummed, and didn't say any more nonsense. The skeleton god general carefully examined the corpse, confirming that it was safe. Lin Mo ordered the skeleton god general to bring the corpse back, and found that there were several wounds on the corpse, one of which directly pierced the forehead, which was a fatal wound. Looking at the wound, Lin Mo felt a little strange. The wound was too small, only the thickness of a finger. It didn't look like it was bitten by a gold-devouring beast, nor did it look like an attack from a gold-devouring beast. It looked a bit like a wound caused by arrow-like magic weapons from other races. It was difficult to make a judgment for a while. Originally, Lin Mo wanted to use undead rebirth, but after thinking about it, he didn't use it. This technique was too strange, beyond the understanding of many people. And he wouldn't easily expose his secrets. Furthermore, he believed that the information this corpse knew wouldn't be too much. Besides being able to tell him how he died, it had no other use. Lin Mo handed the corpse to Meng Gang. "Keep it, take it back. With the battlefield token, the information of the original owner can be found, and they can return to their roots, so they won't be left to rot in the starry sky." Meng Gang took a brand new storage ring and put the corpse away. "Let's continue." Lin Mo let out a soft breath, and the group moved towards the next target. The second target was about 3 million kilometers away from here, not very far. It would take less than 3 minutes to fly there. But as they were flying halfway, the target suddenly disappeared. Meng Gang said in a low voice, "Dead." There was only one possibility for the target to disappear, and that was death. "Go and take a look." Lin Mo's face darkened, and he continued to move forward without changing direction. His face darkened, and he thought to himself, how could it be such a coincidence? Just as we were about to arrive, the other party died. Vaguely, he felt something was wrong. From the habits cultivated in the small world, Lin Mo maintained vigilance towards everything. Especially in the battlefield, not being vigilant meant death. Soon, they saw the corpse. There seemed to be an aura left behind by a great battle around the corpse. They could clearly feel the residual aura of laws. Obviously, the owner of the corpse had resisted before his death. He had just died, and the aura had not completely dissipated, but the gold-devouring beast was gone. Lin Mo suddenly stopped. Something's wrong. Yu Zhu, Wang Zhenghao, and Rong Jia were all here for the first time. They couldn't see what was wrong. Meng Gang also said, "There is indeed a problem. How could the gold-devouring beast leave the corpse behind? Gold-devouring beasts have always eaten all other living beings, without leaving even a bit of residue. How could there be corpses left behind? The previous one was like this, and this one is the same now." Lin Moyu, connected to the undead perspective, once again saw the little gold-devouring beast's soul. 0. It was standing on the corpse's head, and it had clearly spotted Lin Moyu and the others, its tiny eyes showing vigilance. The next second, it leapt into the void and disappeared under the shroud of azure light. Lin Moyu thought to himself, could it be the one that killed them? There was no one else around, and after thinking it over, only the little gold-devouring beast's soul was possible. But it was very alert and ran away as soon as it saw Lin Moyu and the others. Lin Moyu didn't chase it and let it leave. Meng Gang also saw the creature and said in a low voice, "Did it kill them?" Lin Moyu said softly, "It should be. It seems that this gold-devouring beast swarm is more troublesome than expected. There may be more than one gold-devouring beast with intelligence." Meng Gang's expression was grave as he realized things were getting more and more troublesome. This mission felt almost like a suicide mission. If it weren't for Lin Moyu, if it were other divine kings, they would have been wiped out when passing through the passage. Lin Moyu had the skeleton divine general bring back the corpse, which also had a wound only on the forehead. But it was still impossible to confirm that it was killed by the little gold-devouring beast's soul just now. Continue searching for the next target. Several minutes later, the third target was finally found. This time it was a living person, but he was seriously injured and had fallen into a coma. Not only was his body in a coma, but his soul was also unconscious. The poison of the gold and silver stones had entered his body, destroying his vitality. Lin Moyu used the power of life to heal him. The power of life could heal, but it would take time. There was no time at the moment, so he just maintained his condition and had Rong Jia carry him, continuing forward. Chapter 1200. Even the saved people are traps. The seeking array continued to point the way, but strangely, Lin Moyu and the others were always one step behind. By the time they arrived, the person was always dead. Lin Moyu saw the little gold-devouring beast's soul several more times. The soul would quickly flee the moment it saw Lin Moyu and the others. But it didn't appear every time. Several times they encountered gold-devouring beast swarms. Lin Moyu took action and killed many gold-devouring beasts, but he still couldn't save the people. They were already dead before they arrived. Meng Gang's storage ring contained several more corpses, 2 of which were fragmented. Everyone's mood was a little heavy. So far, they had only saved 1 person. Blue light appeared in the distance. After entering Area 6-99, they flew around for most of the day to save people and finally arrived in the area of molten gold. The closer to the center, the more molten gold there was. These blue light spots looked like stars from afar, but that was a visual error caused by the refraction of light. In fact, the molten gold was not large. Pieces of molten gold, like pebbles, hung in the starry sky and flew around. The small pieces of molten gold were only the size of an adult's head, and the larger ones were no more than 10 meters in diameter. The truly large ones were the molten gold's associated minerals, the poisonous gold and silver stones. The gold and silver stones were very large, generally exceeding 100 meters in diameter, and the large ones were even 10,000 meters in size, truly like stars. The molten gold seemed to grow on the gold and silver stones, and its blue light became more intense after passing through the gold and silver stones, allowing it to shine farther. The gold and silver stones looked very strange. They were clearly gold and silver in color, but they had different colors when viewed from different angles. However, its own light was not strong, but it could strongly reflect the light of the molten gold. Lin Moyu couldn't help but marvel at the wonders of the great world. Normally, molten gold should be the associated mineral of gold and silver stones. But someone had seen the entire process of molten gold's birth. It was true that molten gold appeared earlier, and then gold and silver stones grew out after the molten gold was born. Moreover, gold and silver stones were useless, so they were defined as molten gold's associated minerals. Huh, what's wrong with him? Yu Ju's voice suddenly rang out. Yu Zu looked at the person Rong Jia was carrying with surprise. This guy, who they had rescued and whose body was covered in the poison of gold and silver stones, had been unconscious. But at this time, a large number of gold and silver colors appeared on his body, looking like gold and silver stones. Lin Moyu felt a sense of palpitation, his eyes narrowed and he shouted urgently, "Let go." Rong Jia was startled and let go of his hand on the spot. Lin Moyu shouted again, "Retreat." Lin Moyu's prestige was already very high, and everyone retreated quickly without hesitation. They retreated 10,000 meters in an instant, but Lin Moyu's sense of palpitation not only did not weaken, but became even stronger. "Keep retreating, quickly," Lin Moyu shouted, accelerating again to get away. The weakest here were all true God Ninth Order, and once their speed was unleashed, it was ridiculously fast. In the blink of an eye, they were thousands of kilometers away. At this time, Lin Moyu's sense of palpitation rose to the extreme, and then, before his eyes, the corpse exploded. Countless light spots rushed out of its body, which were the powder of gold and silver stones. The powder of gold and silver stones, fused with the blue light of molten gold, became extremely dazzling. It seemed to form a chain reaction. As the corpse exploded, the nearby gold and silver stone mines also exploded. In an instant, dense powder, like mist, enveloped the starry sky. The speed of the powder's diffusion was very fast, far exceeding the flying speed of Lin Moyu and the others. It swept through like a storm, and Meng Gang almost instinctively opened his La domain. The La domain, which could originally cover a large area of the starry sky, seemed to be suppressed by external forces, and could only cover a radius of 1,000 meters before it could not expand. The powder swept through like a storm, and the La domain was under tremendous pressure, and continued to shrink. Meng Gang's face changed greatly, his soul leapt out, and he integrated the shield in his hand into the La domain to enhance the La domain's defense. The La domain finally stabilized, but after only 1 second, it began to collapse again. The La swords and shields in the La domain continued to collapse, and the range quickly became smaller. Meng Gang's control of the sharp gold La, although not good at defense, the sole La domain of the Divine King realm was not too bad in defense. But now, the speed of collapse was somewhat unexpected. As the master of the La domain, Meng Gang was very clear about the situation of his La domain. He knew that his La domain would collapse in less than half a minute. Meng Gang seemed to remember something, and his face became extremely ugly. "This is troublesome, this is a poison explosion." Lin Moyu had read some information about Area 6 to 99, but there was no information about poison explosions. Yu Ju's face also changed greatly when she heard Meng Gang's words. How could we encounter a poison explosion? Wang Zhenghao and Rong Jia obviously didn't know what a poison explosion was, and asked urgently, what is a poison explosion? Yu Zhu explained with a bitter face, normally, the toxicity of gold and silver stones is released slowly, and the toxicity is not strong, it will only accumulate. The Zhenjin pill can be safe and sound 0. But when a poison explosion occurs, the toxicity of gold and silver stones will erupt in an instant. Think about it, what will happen if the toxicity that can be released for 10,000 years or even longer erupts in an instant? That goes without saying, it must be the extinction of all things. The Zhenjin pill will not have any effect. Rong Jia's face became extremely ugly. In that case, aren't we doomed to die? Wang Zhenghao asked, can't the law domain block it either? Meng Gang shook his head, look for yourself. His law domain was collapsing, and Wang Zhenghao was also frightened, otherwise he shouldn't have asked that. The two looked dim, and kept muttering, we are doomed this time. The diffusion speed of the powder was too fast, and in a blink of an eye it had covered a star field of tens of millions of kilometers. With his speed, it was impossible to escape before the law domain collapsed. Yu Zhu and Meng Gang looked at Lin Moyu in unison. If anyone could save them now, perhaps it would only be Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu's eyes flickered slightly. The War King Tower was fast enough to take them away completely. But he wasn't sure if the War King Tower could withstand the highly poisonous gold and silver stone powder. He would be heartbroken if the War King Tower was damaged. He hadn't reached the Divine King realm yet and could fully utilize the power of the War King Tower. He couldn't let it end up like the God-slaying fortress, useless before it's even used. Moreover, it wasn't a desperate situation yet. Lin Moyu didn't seem worried at all, one could even say he was indifferent, still calm. He didn't sense the power of laws in these gold and silver stone powder. Gold and silver stone is pure poison, a highly toxic substance that can obliterate laws. But as long as it didn't involve laws, it wouldn't cause any harm to him. Similarly, it wouldn't cause any harm to his law domain. Lin Moyu didn't disappoint Yu Zhu and Meng Gang, and unfolded his law domain. A strange black and white star rose from behind Lin Moyu, appearing extremely dazzling in the starry sky. His law domain quickly occupied the starry sky, pushing away all the poisonous powder caused by the poison explosion. The poisonous powder, sufficient to obliterate laws, had no effect on Lin Moyu's law domain. Meng Gang was seeing Lin Moyu's law for the first time, even though Lin Moyu had mentioned his law during the introductions. At this moment, he stared wide-eyed. What kind of law is this?